Okay, so we are up to session number 66 out of our Tuesday group, who are currently chasing down there's my camera, the Tree of Life, even though that's now in shadow.
Oh, poor tree. Can I set off some fireworks?
You could.
Create some sunlight?
Well, I was just trying to show it on camera.
If I roll a 1, will I accidentally set the tree on fire?
Quite possibly.
No, maybe not the fireworks.
I'm sure the tree's not terribly important to the elves, even though their life's connected to it.
I said maybe not fireworks. Did a bomb? Did a sparkle?
So, I guess I'll have Arietta introduce your character now, considering you're talking.
I don't remember who I am or what I'm doing.
You are playing Duck and Cover.
Duke.
Duke and Cover.
Duke and Cover. A
Gnome?
artificing gnome. With a very long, well, because I'm a gnome, it's probably only like a 3/4 top jacket full of little potions and bombs. So if I fall over, I just might blow myself up. And that probably describes Duke and Cover fairly succinctly.
Okay. We also have online today, we have, where is my, Jeremy. I'll start with Jeremy.
Yes, good evening all. I am playing a warrior and hero slash potential future leader of the Atruaghin clans. Originally he was one who was a watchman for the people, and now he's become a shaman of the people. I'm trying to find his place and provide influence for Atruaghin himself. He's been initially banished out from the plateau to find and discover about the world so he can bring the information back.
It's not a bad job to have. Go explore the world, then come back and teach us.
and be supported with much better healthcare than you've got at home. You
Well,
live longer.
Hey, shamans of the Atruaghin clan live the longest.
Yes, because they're the ones with the cure spells.
They live about 3 to 4 times as long as the standard people of their tribes.
Wow. Why is that?
Because
most people in the tribes have really sucky healthcare and lots and lots of violence and die before they're 40.
and their standard hobbies are fighting, their standard activities are fighting, and their go-to, if not doing anything else, is fighting.
Doesn't sound like they have any variation at all.
Yes, and they raid each other for women and that sort of thing.
And men.
It's pretty standard sort of basic tribesman level violence. Getting past the age of about 35 takes some effort.
Well,
And luck.
puts it in perspective then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with these guys, it's actually even closer to getting past the age of 25, which are the old man category.
It does. Most 25-year-olds are considered old-timers.
Mm.
Okay, so also online today we have Paul.
I am the party diplomat, pretty boy, backup healer, and warlock.
And anything else you want to add? Okay, also we have online today is Kessler.
I am playing Kupa Amani Aokai, aka Lani. She comes from the Kai human region in the islands. She is former sailor, is a weapons master, basically just kind of fights everything and sticks with her people. So yeah, that's me.
So unfortunately we won't have Clarissa tonight. She's not doing so well.
Send her our best for speedy recovery.
They'll do so now. So, Tidal has moved from the Tuesday game to the Friday game. So he won't be back in this storyline.
Does that mean he's dealing with a different Jackal?
Well, as far as he knows, he can't tell the difference. So, in actual fact, Russell will be in both games now. So he takes...
I'm sure Jackals go everywhere, actually.
Which version of Russell he'll be taking, I still don't know yet.
Indeed.
So, as to remember where we are, you had travelled from the Elven Nation after meeting with the King and Tree Keeper of the Elven Forest. Pretty much been sent on a mission no one else has succeeded on. As also a last resort because apparently they can only send champions. And Luell is the last champion to start the quest.
Or latest champion to start the quest. All the other ones have died so far. Cheery.
Well,
I would have thought technically Nui's actually a champion that's coming along for the quest as well. She's taken a few parts so far.
Technically, she's not a champion. She is more of apprentice for the Tree Keeper.
Okay, right.
She has a chance of being the champion, but didn't actually fulfill it all.
Right, okay.
And she would have actually been the champion going if she had have made it for the session.
Yeah, okay.
But so far, that tribe he still believes that their champion is dead and gone, and the tree won't pick another. So she's been missing in action for a long time.
Yeah, but also, okay, yeah, so Clue's been the default champion of his clan because he's the only one that's on his clan. Okay, because I found out the represents a clan that died out, or apparently died out 1,000 years ago.
Yep.
Yes. Well, the such died out has disappeared. Some people say died out, but there's nothing information.
Well, you are associated with the royal clan of the First Elven Empire.
Oh yeah, but how the Shadow Elves disappeared isn't elucidated anywhere I know.
It's not. It's basically a horror story.
Yeah. Well, it should be dead until you showed up.
And so basically everything you know from the elves is the Shadow Elves are the boogeymen of elven history and culture. And it's basically you be good or the Shadow Elf will take you away and you'll never see anyone again. So if you don't eat your vegetables, that's one of the threats you get given. So after finding out about that the trees of life are all dying, which is what each clan's built around, you had managed to get a map, talk to spirits of the forest, get a vision, and then enter the Rainbow Bridge. With a little bit of negotiation in the Feywild with a dragon, where you gave the dragon your name for one of your characters because obviously that was the gift you wanted to give.
Well, no. I mean, no one gave the dragon the name. The dragon always had that name, and there was people behind it that didn't have that.
Actually, no. The name has always been his, as of when you made the agreement.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, that's not what you said. There is a distinct time when one of you had the name and the other didn't, and after that time it was switched, but it's always been true.
My brain's hurting.
Yes, that's what happens when you deal with fake creatures.
This is what happens when you talk to Dressel. I'm used to it, so I start getting confusing with other people.
Yes, you speak Dressel quite fluently now. And so after getting out of the Rainbow Bridge, you arrived in the Sylvan Lands, which is what the Second Elven Empire is known as. and it was deserted. You found 12 keyholes missing the 12 circular keys, which you were able to figure out after some investigation. And then you proceeded north out of north out of the city. I have to look at the map because sometimes up is not north.
Well, yes, that's actually one of the things, as a side, very short side thing, one of the things that really pissed me off with most of the D&D 4 stuff, all their maps have a north to the left.
Yep.
Particularly their unpublished stuff, they're all maps pointing to the left. Presumably that's how you pull the map out of the back of the book. But they don't note this anywhere, so reading through map descriptions is an arse.
And the next thing that you have is someone didn't tell the room describer. So when they describe some of the rooms assume that up on the map is north. So when you describe it based on the module entry to the orientation of the map, it doesn't fit.
Yeah, that's the other layer of or other level of confusion.
And then you show the pictures that they commissioned for the artwork, which also doesn't match the location, the encounter, or the description.
But they look pretty.
They look pretty, yes.
Well, the thing is, that's not...
That's the
okay,
point.
I'll make a point. That's not unique to 4th Ed. That's almost all D&D stuff, and in fact, a hell of a lot of game stuff that's been published.
I know, it's just
unique.
frustrating. Like, here, look at this as a visual guide, except don't imagine it as it's written or drawn.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you headed north out of the city, you then were given a portable tower by Dresel.
Yep.
Which Llewell then activated without killing himself, which was good.
Yes, I thought so.
And as convenient and inconvenient as it is at the same time, you were able to avoid an encounter with a bunch of werewolves.
Well, effectively avoid.
Well,
I did try and start it, in the sense that my character did try and shoot a few of them, and they didn't notice.
They noticed. They just thought it was messages, but they couldn't determine the message.
But from our perspective, they apparently didn't notice.
Which does.
Which I can tell that was a good thing.
Yeah. But you did have a conversation. You did hear their conversation and see what they were doing, and they headed off. Then you headed north and spoke to a Nereid who had lost its nymph key.
Yep.
And it blamed the narwhal because it had stolen the narwhal's key.
Yep.
Then on the way to talk to the narwhal, you found a dead hydra, bigger than any hydra you've ever seen, with the key shape in the biggest head of the hydra having been cut out with some sort of knife.
Yep.
Basically, the ribs of the creature itself, each rib was as tall as a hydra that you're seeing. So it was a massive creature. So luckily someone else did that for you, but they took the key.
Yeah.
And so we finished the session of you walking further around past the dead hydra to where you found that some of the trees had the heart of the tree ripped out.
Yep.
But you weren't sure why or what that had to do with anything.
Yeah, well, I had a couple of notes in my thing. It was just in addition to that was the fact that the Nereid, when we were talking to her, she was actually dealing with or attacking some guy in black armor or something, wasn't it?
She was, yes.
It's the yes, I think that we decided to side with the Nereid rather than with the guy in the black armor. can't work, but...
And then I believe
And
you
then-
let her drown him.
Yeah. Oh, did someone actually... Yeah, someone talked to her and she was more friendly or something, but... And then also, around the trees with the dead trees, we found some footprints and evidence of a cane with a star shape, I think it is.
Yep. And Ariadna had a question.
It's okay.
Okay. So yes, you did find the evidence of boot prints, wyvern claw marks, and the star-shaped imprint from some sort of walking stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's definitely at least other forces at bay other than those that might be defenders of the key. And noting the fact that the fact that we're also in the realm, we have to meet Morcroft, who was the one that destroyed the second Elven realm.
Yep.
Yes.
Which I'm sure he'll be a friendly fellow.
Yeah. Considering that, isn't that when the Shadow Elves disappeared? So.
No, the
so-
Shadow Elves
Oh,
disappeared before the start of the second
That
Elven
was early.
civilization.
Okay.
So none of the Shadow Elves clans are associated with the second civilization. They're all associated with the first.
Yeah.
But there are also quite a few other clans also associated with the first who aren't considered Shadow Elves.
Okay.
So that's where one of the breaks between Elven culture happened, is between the first and second, and between the second and the third.
Yeah.
So the third great Elven civilization is Alfheim.
Right.
Where we originally got the quest.
Yep.
And so now having worked out we couldn't do anything more with the dead trees, we're continuing the journey along the coastline towards the Narwhal, isn't that correct?
I believe that is correct. I'm just opening
Correct.
up the
Yes, you've got notes.
session. Yes, I do have notes, which is always handy. And I made sure to pre-prepare my notes so I didn't have to type as much out.
Ooh.
So that also has the game date is the year 1007. You're in the 9th month on the 8th day. So that gives you some idea of where you can find yourself.
Although that might be meaningless in the second realm.
It is in the same world.
It's running at the same timeline? Okay,
Yep.
cool.
You didn't travel back in time, you travelled across continents.
Oh, okay.
It looks like we're traveling in time because the sun's in a different place.
Well, I actually thought we travelled across planes, so...
Oh, yeah, no.
So the first world for the elves is in the same world as well.
I mean, I'm quite confident that from my character's perspective, he's still thinking that, hang on, Rainbow Bridge, the weird place where we met the colours and the dragon, and now come out into this place here. He's figuring it's likely we went to Francia.
Right, I'll give you an insight roll then, Paul. Jeremy, for your character, to see if you can figure that out.
Okay. Ooh, you rolled an 18. She's probably going to be decent. Okay. Inside 25.
Okay, so on a
That shows that you guys are in the same world.
on a 25, you recognise you're in the southern hemisphere instead of the northern hemisphere,
Okay.
which is why the stars are different, and you weren't able to travel to the same spot.
Yep. Okay. I can work with that. As I said, given he could adventures through the down to the accidental Hollow World quick visits and off to Amber Castle and the Francia, he's happy that, oh yeah, he can travel everywhere.
Well,
But no place like home, he hopes to find out.
I can give a little more perspective on people what that means. Okay, so I have a map which I shall show on the screen, It means that it puts you somewhere around here, you think, or down here.
Okay.
You could even be up here, but you don't know. But you think you're somewhere down here, based on where your insight puts you.
That's cool, because obviously that enhances his quest to find and know the world.
Well,
There's a world is built off, but he left the plateau.
well, from the Elven perspective, rumors of the first Elven Empire is down here. So that's where the ruins are supposed to be. So they migrated up to here for the second, and then over to here for the third.
So there you go, cool. If we want to walk further, you go visit your ancestors.
Yeah, actually, I think we're going to end up visiting all the Elven ancestors to some extent.
Well, let's go visit the Narwhal first.
Though they did say that the first Elven Empire was wiped out in a rain of fire.
Yeah, that's not pleasant.
Yeah, it was the Shadow Elves who did it.
There were no Shadow Elves at the time. Okay, so yes, you travel further down the road, taking the magical road.
Oh yeah, it's a magical road that animals don't cross.
Yep. So you travel 18 miles south along the coast. Which probably takes you most of the day.
Okay. Certainly gives the opportunity potentially for a few more practices with the tower, but not quite yet.
So as
we're travelling, are we actually on the coast?
you are literally on the coast.
I will keep a lookout out to the ocean to see if we can spot the narwhal.
So as you travel out, past the limits of this dense, lush forest extends a beautiful beach of white sand. The large swells of an ocean endlessly cover the green waves with white caps before they crash on the shore. And eventually on the dry sand lies a large black rowboat overturned and attached to a wooden pole. Far beyond the waves, the ridge of a lonely island rises above the ocean mist.
Now, were we given any specific directions or landmarks to look for to find where this narwhal was likely to be found?
You would expect it to be somewhere between, from your map, where you find the rowboat and where you see the island.
Right, that's what I mean. It's things like when we're going along, probably yes. Seeing the island is an indicator that, okay, we might have expected to find it by now. So, possibly we go to the island?
Yeah, so Lonnie will inspect the rowboat to make sure it's seaworthy and if there's anything odd or different about it.
Okay, the rowboat has cracks in it as you have a look at it. Give me an investigation roll.
Let's see.
While she's doing it, I will be looking around the surround to the beach and things like that to see if we can find evidence as to, hang on, why is there an upturned rowboat just here?
I got a 15.
Looking for any settlements or things like that. So.
Okay, looking at a 15, it looks as if the boat hit something with force. And it does look like it could still go on the water, just that it has been run aground rather heavily.
Okay, I'll go ahead. I'll try to see if I can turn it over and kind of get it ready so that we can all hop in and go to the island.
Okay, yes, you flip it over. You think 4 people can fit into it.
Okay.
How many others are currently technically here?
So technically you have 6 people there. You do notice at this stage that Title's no longer with you.
Yep. I think we noticed that a little while ago, but...
He was actually here last session.
Oh, he was? Okay, yep. Yeah.
So did we just
And
wake up and
certainly
he was
of
gone?
those 6 people, one of them is particularly big and one of them is quite small.
Yes.
Yep.
Drazel pulls out his book and says he's happy to watch and record.
Okay. Did I see anything, any other tracks or evidence of like a campfires or anything, or any settlements or lean-tos or anything like that?
Well, it was tied to a post out of the water.
Right. So is there evidence of people coming and going from this area?
Doesn't look like anyone's been here in the last month. Give me a survival roll to see if you can find any other traces.
16 plus. It's gone. 26.
26. Okay, it looks as if booted feet had left the boat probably about a month ago.
Boots that, like, are we talking elven boots like mine, or boots like we saw around the dead trees, or?
Boots like you saw on the guy in black armor you met with the Nerid.
Right. So, okay. I will point out to the others that, hey, I think I know who owned the boat originally.
Oh, okay, right.
Well, by persons,
Oh, right.
in the sense that it looks like it's the same ones who the Nerid disapproved of.
Right.
So maybe the enemy of the Nerid will be friends of the Narwhal, being enemy by friend,
That's valid.
or enemy by enemy, you're still my enemy as far as Atruaghin's concerned.
Well, yes. Anything sort of tribal, because it counts for the Fae as well.
Well, they're your enemy until they're your friend.
Oh, even then it's sort of, hi, we're still enemies, but we've got a common enemy, so we won't kill each other right now.
Whereas with Atruaghin it's more, yeah, you're still my enemy, but hey, we'll have fun in the meantime.
Yes. Yes. The Fae are always political, and the Atruaghin are far more honour-bound and far more fun, which often involves beating up on other people.
So they do say
how
only
far
the
is
bad
it to
people.
island?
How far is it to the island? Okay, it looks like you could probably swim there in about 4 miles.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's not too
Wow.
far for you to swim.
Well, I wasn't planning on swimming, I was planning on flying, or whistling, or both.
Can you do that with your whistle? Can you keep it up that long?
Well,
It's an endurance check, isn't it?
practice that circular breathing technique.
Yes.
So that's where you see him fly across and then just suddenly drop into the water.
At least he's dropping into water.
But okay, I'm just looking at the fact that there's not actually room in the boat for everybody. So, I figure that I could probably get across. I'll probably stay near the boat if I get out of breath, but
Oh, I see.
Does Drazzle have wings right now?
He does, but he's happy to just sit and watch.
Drazzle's offered to stay on shore while we all get in the boat.
Yeah. I
yeah,
think that's,
extra 5, even though one's small.
yeah.
And you say the boat doesn't look particularly seaworthy.
Narissa says she doesn't like going on water, so she's going to stay behind too.
Okay, so that solves our problem. So, Nari will stay behind with Drazzle, protect him, I suppose.
Okay.
So, I guess, I will get everybody in the boat and row to shore towards the island.
Okay. Luckily for you, they do have oars, even though you didn't check.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, it actually didn't say they had oars, I just didn't want you to have to spend time crafting them.
Totally fair. I'll do it with my hands.
Hey, it didn't say there wasn't oars.
It actually said boat overturned, and there were a few other comments associated that you didn't discover, so yes, it didn't actually start with oars.
I heard nothing say there weren't oars, so therefore we can assume there was.
Okay, so I am going to have a athletics check for our rower.
Who's rowing? I'm guessing
Marty.
it's not me.
I believe our sea master is rowing.
Okay.
I will be looking out.
How does a 13 do?
A 13 is quite a lot of splashing and grunting and swearing, but you are moving.
Very nice, very nice.
It feels just at home.
Use all the colorful language.
Apparently, whoever built this boat didn't build it for one person to row.
Can anybody help her?
Well, she's coping,
Okay.
which is where the swearing and the cursing comes from.
Fair enough.
This is my bring me right back home. This is how I am.
Well, it's either that or have to teach someone else how to row in time with you.
Well, I mean,
Exactly.
as I say, technically, I've got proficiency in water vehicle. I think most people in the party do now,
Yep.
but it's a slightly smaller vehicle than we're used to rowing.
Yes.
Controlling.
Here's the thing too, that's what sea shanties are for,
Mm-hmm.
is to keep everyone in time.
But it's okay. Unless specifically requested otherwise, I am simply in the prow of the boat looking out for evidence of this narwhal and or signs of activity on the island.
Yeah, Lonnie's gonna try her best to do it herself.
I'm just gonna have a quick check on
It's okay. I'm just going to see if I can find the right reference for you.
The reference that says, yes, we did it all and we got what we need.
Well, all these things like to say, yes, you can find everything you want to find here. I was just hoping I had a book that I could just go pull it out of here and use that one. Because, amusingly, I don't think 5th Ed has started out a narwhal yet.
Right. Well, that's right, but I need to find it because I'm like, hey,
Okay,
don't need to tax for it.
the easy one for a narwhal is basically you use the same stats as for a shark. And make
I'm going to go for the dolphin.
Okay, you could either go for the dolphin and give it an attack that is equivalent to using a rapier with their strength on you, or use a shark and change the attack form to piercing.
Yeah, okay.
Either way
Dolphins
works. Either way
sound a lot less dangerous.
It's both dangerous.
It's okay, I think I found something close. Though that does look a lot deadlier.
Oh, look
What?
at me! I'm a flipping little dolphin.
You found sperm whale?
No, I found shark.
No, shark. No,
I was just thinking a narwhal the size of a sperm whale?
exactly.
Narwhals aren't huge, unless
No.
you're a dire narwhal units.
Okay. So this will be close enough. So just if you're curious about what a shark would look like.
That's awesome.
I should have said, lucky it's only a horn and not lasers.
And the amusing thing is, it looks very close to what they actually did for the narwhal pictures for other things.
Yep.
There you go.
So just one of those fun things of trying to find something useful that matches.
As I said, stacks don't matter though, we're here to talk.
Okay, so with that in mind, you see a shadow rise up underneath the boat as you're looking down, and and a bang.
And I'm guessing we feel the bang as much as hear the bang.
You do feel the bang. So everyone gets to make a dexterity saving throw.
Well, now the dice failed.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, okay. It failed, so I get dex of 15 on my 6.
I got a 17.
And how did Paul go?
Over 20.
Over 20?
Yeah. 23.
Okay, so to give some perspective, they gave in the original D&D, they gave a narwhal 12 hit dice.
How many?
12.
12.
Right.
So it was not a small creature.
No.
No. Well, it was obviously for them. It was meant to be because he's nasty.
Well, no, it's probably the sense that, like, the idea that dinosaurs get one hit dice and elephants get one hit dice.
Yes. Otherwise, it's like the eye thing about dire elephants where they had a fun speed. I've told you about that one before.
Sure. And get our bomb master.
Well,
Who got?
Bombmeister's currently away from the table, so...
Oh, okay, right.
So yes.
Sure, we're fine.
You see a horn on a big fish, considering a fish is anything in the water.
Yep.
For the term of fish. And you see it bash into the side of the boat. Intentionally. And then disappear down into the depths. You have a feeling that's what hit the boat last time.
I'm not certain that he's here to talk.
I will try to row faster towards the island.
And
Okay.
we'll say, where are we compared to the island, to the coastline?
Halfway.
Perfect.
As you think it was planned that way.
Yep.
I will try to row faster.
Okay, give me a athletics with disadvantage as you try to row faster.
Okay. Dang it, that was a good roll. 10.
10. Okay, there's a lot more splashing involved. Everyone's absolutely soaked.
Yeah, well, okay.
SeaWorld experience right here.
Yes, but at least we can clean all the salt
We're all
off.
soaked.
Yep.
I pull out a bar of
If
soap and give
nothing
myself a wash.
else, with just created water just dumped on people.
Might as well.
You are being attacked by something under the water.
Oh, are we? Sorry. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's okay, you get to make a dexterity saving.
Is this where the gnome gets to use a torpedo or something?
Quite possibly.
A punk torpedo. Cool.
I think that's a 13. Yeah, it's a 13.
Okay, so yes, you stay in the boat as well.
Oh, okay. I don't need to look up thingies on here.
It's good with that one. So that would have made it at least a 60.
Yeah, yep.
I got some notes up here. And so yes, that they're choosing to row faster towards the island, but in the panic, there's just water going everywhere.
I see.
Well, that's
Can
fair enough.
I throw a bomb at whatever's attacking us?
Yes, you can throw a bomb at whatever's attacking you. You wish to make a bomb? Do you want to make it as booming as possible?
Well, booming is always good.
The thing that
Unless
attacking us is bad, but I don't necessarily want to kill it, I'm guessing?
They've come to talk to something called the narwhal.
Right, and do we know if it's a narwhal attacking us?
Only one person's had a good look at it so far.
Okay, can I try and have a look at it?
Right, okay. I certainly did mention that, yes, he's here, and I don't think he wants to talk.
So
And
it is the
also,
narwhal?
Just to decide, my Skype just dropped out twice, so if I suddenly disappear,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why. But
Yeah.
So,
Narwhals are actually rather bigger than I thought they were. It's basically a pilot whale with a lance.
yeah.
who's in the water?
Your boat. Small little rowboat. All
But
four of you.
We're still
So
in the
it's
boat?
falling, yeah.
So how are we, like, we've sunken?
No, you got hit by something from underneath, and then it went down into the water again.
And it's sinking.
No, you just got hit by something.
Okay, but you said I'm still in the
I
boat
get it,
earlier,
yes, yeah.
indicating that some people weren't.
You could have fallen out of
Everyone
the boat.
actually managed
Okay,
to
so
stay in the boat.
just me.
Everyone had a risk of falling out, but everyone did manage to stay in.
I will prepare a bomb for when I can next throw one at it, but I won't make it deadly.
Okay.
Wait, Paul, you're the one talking to, aren't you?
I'm the one, which?
You're here for the talking, aren't you?
That's true.
We're here to talk, aren't we? Or are we going to get the key?
If the narwhal can understand what I'm saying, I'm not sure I've got a language that suits.
Does speak with animals work?
You're assuming that elves should be able to talk to it, considering it
Okay.
is a protector of the elven forest.
Fair enough.
Yes, true. It's a fey critter, and therefore it's very likely to speak things that I know.
Yeah.
That's the closest I had to it as a picture.
Speak with an owl.
Okay.
It's a shark one.
Yeah, it's a very weird looking
But admittedly, it's a case of whether or not you get a chance. Like, because obviously it's not really staying around to chat after hitting
So I'm going to have to project.
into the water. Don't you hold your head down?
No, I think I can do that myself.
Okay.
So you're going to stick your head in the water?
I learned to hold his tunic so I can fall into the water.
Thank you. I will do that. For basically, hi, my name is Phil. We need to talk. Well, yes, but he doesn't want to solve it, so he's going to.
I was gonna say, is that what Auckland sounds like?
So,
No, that's title.
so I will give you a charm, negotiation, persuasion roll, your choice,
persuasion.
with disadvantage because it's not your chosen element to talk in.
No, but he's not coming up here, so I have to do what I can.
Well, he might be coming up just as we get headed, that'll be a problem.
So I heal myself. Or hold on and say, look, I'm with you now, let's talk. Please sort of poke the spear above the water so I can talk to you. Anyway, with disadvantage you say?
Yes.
Alright, we're not actually too far apart. 16.
Okay, so you start yelling into the water
Using myself.
with your head sticking down under the boat as you see this very large shape coming up towards you with a very sharp and pointy looking horn longer than the boat.
I dodge.
As you got someone helping hold you in place.
Yes. Well, he's holding me so I don't fall over. If I slip sideways, it won't affect me.
And it appears to notice you and veer off to the side at the same time.
Cool. As long as he doesn't veer the same direction I do.
And clips the boat on the side.
Okay, I lift my head up. That's starting to work.
Apparently, quite well. He clips the boat, and everyone gets to make a another dexterity saving throw.
Okay, you did say clip the boat, not flip the boat, didn't you?
Yeah, I think the clip actually turned into a flip.
Right, okay. So another dex saving throw?
Another dexterity saving throw.
12.
I got 20 not natural.
Okay.
Okay, nice. 14.
Any modifiers for Plura and or I with the holding?
Well, it's a lot easier for you to both go flying into the water if you'd like to do that.
No, I was thinking the modifier might be at a disadvantage.
Then you're holding on to me, so I've got advantage. You're holding on to the boat, but you're holding on to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, pick one to advantage sort of thing.
Okay, so what did you... I'm not giving you advantage or disadvantage. I'm just saying you guys get the same roll.
That's cool, I'm happy with that, because that would be 19 versus the 14 if it was disadvantage.
Right. Well, I got 14.
Okay, so
It's not sucky, but
as you're at the boat and looking down, you dodge out of the way. The boat flips onto its upside down. You see Lani standing on top as if she was always on top. Hanging onto the side is Prayadir, and underneath the boat, hanging onto the seating, is Duke and Llewell.
cool. We've got a bottle of beer to play with.
I'm sure the duck's at home in the water.
Yes. We've got a bottle of beer to play with. Unfortunately, we're down here with an narwhal.
You can talk to it more.
I could talk to it more easily too, because now I've got a speaking chamber to help focus the sound downwards without me having to put my head under water. So I will try again on a persuade.
But I'm guessing while you're doing that, Lani and I are in the process of trying to right the boat.
Yeah, about how far
Okay.
from shore are we?
Only about 2 miles.
Only.
Oh, only. Okay.
What temperature is the water?
The water is quite... probably about 16 to 20 degrees.
That's
Okay,
nice.
so it's pretty good actually.
Fahrenheit.
What's up?
Oh, shut up. Actually, considering this is D&D, it would be Fahrenheit, so I'm hoping it's about 6.
I'm not very good with doing my Fahrenheit numbers, so I'm not going to give you a Fahrenheit number.
Okay, give it to us in Celsius,
Yep.
and we'll translate it to Fahrenheit and back again, and then think. Because
That's
how
right.
we-
Okay, so the water is warm enough.
It is warm
Water-
enough.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I think I will work with not Prayadir to try to right the boat, since we're both proficient watercrafts.
Okay.
Yes.
So as you right in the boat, you see a large shape rise slowly up underneath you, and the boat itself rises up out of the water.
You okay?
Okay, now we're underneath. We're watching this happen. Do we have to climb up on top of the bottom of the ports to avoid being crushed?
Well, you wouldn't be crushed.
Or
It's a rowboat.
looking along the back of the narwhal, possibly.
You could
Well,
technically
the narwhal doing it.
you could technically lift the rowboat over your head, even with your strength.
Even in the
Oh,
water?
it's that small.
Yeah, but remember,
Okay.
you've
So
got
something's lifting you up out of the water.
Okay.
you try to lift the boat and Lani.
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. She's in the right place with this flip over. Oh no, I thought this was a bit bigger of a rowboat, but no, this is a dinghy.
It is literally a dinghy, which is designed
Yes.
for 2 people and to sit across and row, which can take 2 to 4 other people.
Yes. So it could be theoretically righted by one person.
Yep.
So them two doing it makes it easy, and we're being helped anyway. So we're upright.
And now you're on a narwhal in the middle of the ocean as it's looking directly at Llewell. And
I just want to sing the narwhal song now.
it's squinting at you, and you hear it say in quite distinct Sylvan, What the F are you doing with non-elves?
They're my companions on this quest. This is not something one can do solo, and there are only so many people to ask along.
And you hear far more curse words than you've ever heard in Sylvan.
Well, of course, it's a narwhal. He swears like a sailor.
And he actually, as far as you can tell, he doesn't believe you, but it's very hard with all the swear words to understand what he's trying to say. So I will give you an insight roll if you'd like to try to figure out what he was trying to ask you.
Yes.
From the perspective of those that don't speak Sylvan, do we feel like we're actually in a somewhat stabilised situation right now?
You feel
but
He's not flipping us back into the water.
So from the perspective of everyone else who can't speak Sylvan, you hear the sounds of what sounds like hostile speech coming from the creature that's got you out of the water.
Yes, and I'm not being hostile, but speaking the same language.
But
and I will tell him, I'm trying to say something, and I'm going to tell him, because this is appropriate to, trying to stop him flipping people back into the water. Because, look, don't tell the others, they can't understand what we're talking about at the moment. They're a blade with armour.
Sorry?
I fully expect to use
He's basically said they're expendable.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
But okay, from our perspective, it's the idea of, yes, the important part is apparently we're being held out of the water as opposed to being dumped in the water, which is why the fact that it's moderately stable.
That's what I say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so it ponders that for a moment, and then it bursts out laughing. So all your ground shakes underneath you for about 5 minutes.
No.
Feels like an earthquake.
That's a positive result.
Though each of you, your ears are now ringing a little bit from it laughing.
Because it's a bit loud, yes.
You think its quiet tone voice is the equivalent of shouting at people in a nightclub?
Yeah. Big person, big voice. Lots of air moving, lots of volume. Alright. This gives me a couple of moments to work out how best to handle the next stage of discussion.
While you're doing that, I will motion and talk with Lani and with Duke to say, perhaps we should get the boat righted, we'll hold it on either side, and then the duck can get in the boat, and therefore when it goes down again, at least we can then jump back into the boat.
Yes. And if it's being a dinghy, you can just pick it up and put it over.
Yeah.
The point being that we want it turned over, ready to go, so that when he sinks, the boat is actually in position. So.
Yes. Well, yeah. Considering you don't have to worry about getting it full of water, it's going to be trivial.
Well, but it's also the fact, of course, we'll deal with the whole sinkhole effect of a sudden suction of going down, but hey, that would be a separate section.
This is completely different to drowning.
Exactly.
Okay, so when he stops chuckling, what do you ask him, Paul?
Well, that's what I was trying to work out, and I'll discuss it with the others in a few moments we've got. What is it we need from him apart from please don't kill us?
Well, apparently he stole the
he has something involved.
Okay.
He has the mermaid or the nymph's
Well, that was the
key.
nearest key that looked like a nymph.
Right.
Yeah, his nearest key that lives in the
Okay, so
And therefore, if we can get that
what we need then is to either amuse him into giving it up to us, or persuade him that we can do something for him, and thereby persuade him to give it up to us.
But also, remember, we wanted to or saying this, well, more saying, hey, didn't the Nereid say that previously she was friends with the whale and was surprised that decided to steal it and wanted to know why?
It also said that it stole something off the narwhal. A key.
It stole the narwhal.
It got the narwhal's key.
And we didn't get the narwhal's key, and I would
No.
suggest that.
So what we're going to end up having to do is get the narwhal's key back so we can get the other key.
Well, exactly. Like at this stage, it's the getting the Nif key to then get the narwhal to give to the narwhal, to give to the Nereid. So the Nereid would give us the narwhal's key, and then we can ask them both politely to say, hey, can we just buy them?
Yes, because we can give them back after.
But yeah, so part of it though was the fact that convincing the narwhal as to exactly why he stole the Nif key in the first place.
Okay, so asking the narwhal about the key.
I will do so politely and correctly for a senior faker.
He uses words that don't translate into anything you understand in Sylvan. And everyone has to hold their ears for a little bit, as he sounds quite angry. And when he calms down a bit, he does not understand why the Nereid stole its key. He's no thief.
Well, no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not accusing you or anything. It may have been an accident. Yeah, well, whoever's key got anywhere.
And he says he's not human, so of course he's no thief. All humans are thieves, he says.
Well, no. Some humans are just vicious thugs, but not thieves. Now, the thing with keys is what we got told is you, however it happened, ended up with Mary's key, and your key ended up somewhere else. Now, whatever details are involved, we don't know. But we're willing to and happy to help fix the problem so that everyone has the right key.
I can't remember.
What do you want to go on with? Yes?
I can't remember. Did the Nereid give any reason as to why she thought the narwhal had stolen her key?
No, she just believed the narwhal had, so she stole the narwhal's key.
Right.
Yes, which means it looks like someone was being kind of mess things up. Yeah, I will correct I will add to what I just told the narwhal with that, with what we got told by the Nereid. So she thought that you'd taken her key, so in a what could be considered a hot-headed retaliation, stole yours.
He says she acted very human.
Yes, which is one of the reasons why I think that either you or her or both of you are being killed by bad people. There are some bad people around.
He's sure humans are involved. Humans always encourage people to steal things.
So do goblins though.
Goblins are politer than humans.
They're politer, but they still do it.
He's never met a goblin who tried to steal from him, but he's met many humans who tried to steal from him.
I've met goblins who have tried to stab me in the throat because they wanted to steal my stuff.
That sounds inconvenient.
Yeah. Okay.
You have a feeling that he has a deep hatred of humans.
Oh, he has an incredibly deep hatred of humans.
Good thing I'm a gnome.
You do have two humans with you.
I know, but at least I'm a gnome.
Yeah. I'm just making the point that I'm not trying to excuse humans because he's not going to accept that. What I'm saying is there are people who act like that who aren't human. It's not unique to them. Not that that matters right now.
He listens to your thing and he says, if you can return the Narwhal key to him,
Yep.
he'll empower it so you can use it.
Well, that would be wonderful. Now we just have to find the nearest key.
And he says, just follow the humans. I'm sure they stole it.
Oh, probably.
They stole everything.
Well, any tracks of any kind, I'm sure they're going to be human, but any tracks of any kind, because of course they're going to be deceptive, so they're going to make their tracks look like something else.
Because there's two dead humans on the island. You could always ask them. You're good at asking dead things.
That would be an incredibly useful start. Could you take us over in that direction, please?
I could, but you've got a boat.
We do have a boat, and it's the right way up too. Which is quite fortuitous. So, yeah, if you leave this with us for the moment, and we'll do our best to find ourselves keys and put them in the right direction.
He also says he wants to see the humans row badly again.
Oh, that's easy enough. I'll just say, hi, you're the big strong ones, give me row please. And they'll do it for me, there's no problem at all. So I'll tell everyone else, look, get back in the boat, he's going to let us go. Could you humans be the one to row please? He just likes the idea of watching.
I'll
Ronnie
go ahead
was
and
always
do so.
going.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do so, but with like a confused look on my face. But I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so you slowly row onto the island. I won't make you make a roll at this stage. Because you realise you don't have any pressing need to get there urgently. It's not like something's trying to kill you.
And we're probably trying to frantically bail out at the same time with there's presumably a few more cracks open in the boat.
Yeah.
There are a few more cracks in the boat, but these boats are designed to take some punishment.
Oh yeah, I'm saying the fact that when I say like we've got a bucket or something similar to actually just ensure that the water level doesn't get too high in the boat.
Mm-hmm. And mostly the boat floats whether you're in it or not, so...
Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's true. If it's a particularly buoyant wood.
It is a buoyant wood.
Well, it just means you have to bail faster, that's all.
Okay, so we get to the island.
So you get to the island, and it is a rocky, jagged peak pointing out of the water. No beaches, no shore, but you can climb up onto it.
I'm assuming Claire will explain what we expect to find on the island.
Yes, I will as we're rolling across.
Yeah. Did he say where?
I didn't say where, but I don't think the island's very big, and it'll be near the shore somewhere.
Yeah. We shall have a search of the island for a couple dead humans and.
So the island is about 10 miles long and 4 miles across. So.
A bit of a walk.
Well, we'll start at obviously got to the closest point of the island to get to, and then we will go left around the coastline. It's the first point of looking. So. Okay,
so you do find purchases to climb up to get a look around. And
okay, so it's not it might be a few miles across the ride. It's not necessarily that high, or we can get a good spot to look down if we do. Yep.
I'll give you a survival roll to see how well you can climb up.
All of us?
Well, you got one person going up in front of you, and then you can follow them.
17.
So you show them a fairly easy way to climb up, even for the gnome. Doesn't quite have the same reach as you, but hey. At least it's not the elf trying to show the gnome how to climb.
True.
With twice the height.
Okay.
Also true.
Okay, so yes, you make it up onto one of the outcroppings, and there you find two bodies, with one with looks like to have a hole right through the chest.
Cool. Well, there's no one.
But basically, looked like he aimed for the heart and took out the entire chest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got the heart by pushing it through the spine.
Because it is missing most of the spine as well. And the other one doesn't look like it has any broken bones, but hard to tell what killed it because most of the bones have been pecked clean.
Right.
You think it's been at least a month since they died?
Okay. So what were they wearing?
Black leather armor. Same sort of black boots you've seen. And one of them has an ivory scroll case attached to its belt.
Okay. I'll hand the skull case over to probably Claw, but and then okay. So look at the armour, and so it appears that this would be the same humans that the Nereid was facing.
You believe it was humans, yes.
Yeah, but the armour style is similar.
It is it is the same actual armor style, just not as fancy as what the Nereid's one was.
Right. Okay.
You think the Wyvern riders have better armor?
Wouldn't surprise me. Yep.
Not particularly suited for swimming, but better armor.
Yep. Yes. So it certainly appears that the Fey forces are being attacked by these humans in black armor. Or at least they're at war with them anyway. Like it's the Nereid was happy to kill them, and the Narwhal was happy to kill them. So, is there anything in the skull case?
Yes, there is a note. So, do you look at it, Paul?
Oh yes.
In very fine calligraphy. In very fine calligraphy, it's actually protected from the water by the scroll case, as all good scroll cases do.
Yep.
It has an order in overly formal language, asking for the horn of the narwhal to be brought to the palace.
Oh.
Signed by Moorcroft IV.
Ah. Right. So we've actually got a specific target for the narwhal to think about, which has its uses. I read this out to the others.
So is that the same?
I will praise this for the others. I will not struggle through the bureaucratic language.
So is that the same Moorcroft that
Yes, there's only
joined the realm?
Yes, he's a bad guy in general. Come on, anyone who says go and get me a narwhal horn, and knowing that the only one around is a intelligent fey critter. Yeah.
But also, he apparently destroyed the world for you previously.
Oh yeah.
But it also said Mycroft the Fourth. How do we know this is not a descendant?
It could be a descendant. It could be just masking theirs. It could actually be him. We don't know. At least I don't know at the moment.
Unless, of course, he considers each day a different version of himself.
Either way, he's apparently the guy we got to meet, is that right?
Yep. And it says he's at the palace. Unfortunately, you're not sure where the palace is.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else that we can see on this island?
Lots of water and ocean. There's not a single bit of plant growth on the island at all.
Really? So it's a lump of rock.
It is.
Yeah. Is the narwhal still around to talk to?
It's looking at you from the water nearby, yes.
Yes. So if you've got any questions for him, I can ask.
Well, I was going to say, is he likely to know where this palace is?
If it's associated with a lake, then it's definitely.
We've obviously, so we're going to get to the palace, get to see this more, or talk to this Warcroft, and apparently that'll then the humans that the narwhals I think stole the key, and also he's obviously the bad guy.
Well, didn't the tracks that we found when we found the boat were boots leading away from the boat? Maybe we can ask the narwhal what direction the other people, presumably humans in the boat, what direction they went.
Certainly, particularly if he doesn't know where the palace is.
Yeah, if he doesn't know what the palace is, maybe he knows what direction the person in the boat went.
Or what directions he may have seen was it wyverns or griffins or something?
Wyverns.
Yeah.
Yeah. What direction the wyverns were flying?
He says that they all fly south.
Okay. But yeah, so he doesn't know anything about where the palace is?
He doesn't need a palace. He's a narwhal, he says.
Yeah. But he hasn't seen a palace from the coastline or anything like that?
Should he see a palace from the coastline, he asks?
I don't know.
Well, it's possible. It's something that looks sort of human-y.
If it's human-y, then it's bad. You should destroy it.
Yeah, quite probably, yes. But we have to go there to do so.
Yeah, human things are bad. You need to destroy them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you could point us to where one is, you could do something about it for you.
He points with his horn at the nameless character in the group.
Okay, now human things, not humans. I know where he is.
What's the difference? It says it's a human thing.
Well, it's human-made things, like all buildings.
He points at Lani next.
And or the boat.
Then the boat.
And the boat. Okay, well, all right, fair enough. Thanks for that. We'll go looking and see what we can find out, and we'll try and fix this up.
He would very much appreciate that, he says, with an overly loud voice.
Yes. Boom, boom. Shouty, shouty.
And still, they're always talking Sylvan, aren't they?
Yep.
And talking to Sylvan. As before, I will translate as necessary.
Absolutely, that's fine, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's going to be basically verbatim, except for anything where I talk about using for a blanket of armor.
I also believe that you'd probably cut out 99% of the swear words.
I'm going to leave the swear words off because they're not actually pertinent to the conversation.
But you do feel most of his words vibrate through the island.
Yeah.
So you feel as well as hear him talking.
So, but then if you're translating significant percentage, are you also translating his hatred/bias towards all humans and not just the black armored ones?
I will mention the fact, because that's where a lot of the swearing is. I will mention the fact that this guy hates humans. It's quite obvious he hates all humans, but he's willing to not act on it right now, and that's why I'm trying to keep things.
So, looking at the coastline, like looking back at the coastline of the thing, if all the wyverns were heading southwards from this area, does it look like it's worth? But like on the boat, is it worth going straight back to where we came, back to the post on the coast, or is there likely to be a spot where we might as well take the boat? I suppose it's still rowing, isn't it? It's not sailing anything like that. So it's not going to save it.
Going back to the post and trying to find out where what's his face's building is, castle is probably faster than going and looking for it randomly.
Yeah.
Or even semi-random.
But it's the idea whether or not it's better to just effectively travel by sea southwards rather than walk. But the boat probably no
Okay.
faster than walking.
To the south of the coastline, you see the forest continues probably about 4 miles from the island, almost the length of the island out to sea, and then curves away. So there's a big mountain you see in the middle of that outcropping, and you also see to the south of where you found the boat another path heading into the forest going south between two mountain ranges.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll head to the southern path then, and potentially it might be worth climbing up one of the mountains and seeing if we can see further as to see if we can see a castle or a palace in the distance.
Yes.
Depending what kind of mountain we're talking.
Yeah, well, hill or mountain. This is navigation stuff, so I'll leave that to you.
Well, I mean, again, I'm thinking that we'll keep heading towards the coast, effectively, so...
Yes.
Okay, you spend the rest of daylight reaching the coast as the sun is setting in the west.
Yeah.
And you get the most light because there's not much between you and the sunset.
Nice.
So you get the sunset right on the ocean.
And we get to we coast in on the tide.
You can coast in on the tide.
Unless it's going the other way, but hey. Okay, well, I guess we will aim to effectively find the path again, or get back to the path, and then set up the tower for a sleeping spot.
Yes, you can set it up next to the path. The southern path and the northern path of this bay do not meet. So, luckily, you had a boat to get there.
Okay, right.
Because there are...
And yeah, we worked out that the tower can go up once a day, wasn't it?
Yes, every 24 hours. Or after a long rest, whichever, same thing really.
So yes, effectively we get some good, secure resting spot each night.
Okay, so...
I recommend that we still have a watch at the top of the tower overnight.
So, resting overnight, you hear strange noises, which Llewell understands to be she shanties being sung by a narwhal in Sylvan, echoing through the bay.
He's enjoying himself. I will tell the others what it is and not to worry about it at the moment.
But it is otherworldly noise as far as everyone else is concerned who can't understand the words.
Well, yeah, the fact that it's going to disturb their sleep is not something I can actually do anything about.
Okay. So morning comes around with a sound of a eagle in the sky.
Lonnie wakes up humming seemingly familiar she shanties to herself.
I can teach you. I can translate them for you if you want.
That would be nice.
So from the top of the tower, before it gets returned to its full form, can we see evidence of these eagle cries or anything?
I'll give you a perception roll to see if you notice. And anyone else who wants to look.
21 for me.
We get to add 6, I believe.
6, so 16.
I got a 22.
Mm. And how did Llewell go?
Right, what was the what?
Perception.
23.
Okay, so
Oh, I got a +7 perception, so 17.
it's 17. Okay, so Duck and Llewell both see the eagle flying overhead, and that's when Nameless and Lani figure out that it is too big to be an eagle.
Oh, you're calling me Duck. I was trying to figure out who was Duck. It's Duke. Thank you. I was like, who's this person Duck and where did we get there? Was it one of the many times I was run into the bathroom and back?
Well, he did mention a couple of times that ducks in the boat, under the boat.
It's supposed to be a little bit more subtle. Duke can cover.
Yeah, but this is him. He doesn't do subtle except when he's going out nicking things.
Mm.
Yeah, him.
Besides, Duke doesn't translate very well into Atruaghin.
We see one or more
no.
eagles.
You see one.
No, the closest thing in Atruaghin is fist.
But yeah, so you're saying it's bigger than an eagle.
Yep.
It is bigger than an eagle.
Or this sense that if there seems an eagle, we recognise that it's a lot further away.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so it's far enough away that if it were actually an eagle, we would be seeing a dot. Is it actually the shape of a bird, or is it the shape of a dragon?
It is the shape of a eagle.
Would I be able to roll animal handling to try to figure out what kind of eagle this is?
Or can we work out exactly how far away it is, or therefore how big it is?
My guess is going to have the word dire in front of
I know, right?
it.
Personally, I'm actually thinking even worse than that.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking it's a very short name.
A rock?
Like 3 letters.
Like, well,
But yeah, so can we get, do I have any ideas to exactly how far away this creature is?
Okay, so
Or how big it is?
you think the creatures are basically above what is the normal cloud cover,
Right.
because you
And
can
it
see
still looks eagle size.
you can see it sort of flying over clouds, whereas normally the eagles would fly under the clouds to be that big.
Okay.
But Lani thinks from the size and distance, it probably is a really outrageous creature or rock.
yeah.
Yes. The
So it is the fifth edition version of it. So that's what a 5th edition one looks like, and they are the size of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So the big red dragon that I've got, about that size.
I always picture them a lot bigger than that.
You know the the really huge dragon I have that is like so big, about a foot tall. That's basically how they'd be in comparison to a person that size.
Yeah, I don't understand, but you see the classic picture of the rock, which I think was in the 1st edition Monster Manual and also in the Legends, was the idea that it could carry an elephant in one claw.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's from the original stories. They carried off elephants.
That's right.
So rocks have always been blocking huge and
Yes.
about as big as a big, about as
But
big
yeah,
as
so do the Atruaghin clans have any knowledge or legends of rocks?
No, you don't have any mountains nearby for them to live in.
Okay. So yeah, so from my perspective, that's a bloody big eagle.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say bloody big, I'm putting a few extra bloodies in there.
You're starting to sound like the narwhal.
So what Lani knows about them is they basically target giants, whales, or elephants. Something big enough for it to pick up in its claws and carry off.
Or something that's worth the effort of collecting.
Yes. So the narwhal is actually on the low end of that.
The narwhal is a little too big for it to pick up.
Really?
Yep. It's
And also,
Weighs less than an elephant.
there's also the fact that the narwhal
It's all right. It's
is
underwater.
in the water, but also quite some distance away from where it is right now. So it may not actually be in its normal hunting grounds anyway. So,
But you do see it
Close.
circle and head south.
Oh, see. Well,
Follow that rock?
Yes. Just considering we have a boat, be careful.
no, we're not going by boat anyway, so
I know is that.
And you see it land on the smaller of the two mountain ranges to the south.
I'm pretty sure we'll be like popcorn strip to them, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Too small to actually attack.
So I guess we'll walk carefully because it seems like at least they're patrolling the skies. So
I will ask Cluel, and probably so technically, there were 12 keys, weren't there? Were one of them like an eagle?
One of them is called the Eagle.
Considering the fact that we've had a narwhal to get a narwhal key, and the Nereid had a nymph key. Are we likely to have to go and visit the eagle?
We probably will, actually. Should be fun.
Okay,
And at least you know where to go.
exactly.
Yes.
And apparently it's on the way from the direction we're travelling at the moment.
It is. You think it would take you about a day to get there?
So, okay, well, certainly as we're travelling, like I say,
Go about half a day.
We'll start travelling down the pathway. I will certainly encourage people to either stick to the very edges of the pathway and/or possibly just into the forest, so we get tree cover.
The trees cover the path.
Sorry?
The trees grow over the path.
I'll do that. Okay, well, that's more convenient then.
It's an elven path.
Yep. So is there any evidence of animals using the trees to get across?
That you haven't checked.
Right, so I'll start looking for that on the way down, thinking, oh, hang on. We know they can't get across the road, but can they cross because there's a separate pathway? Under the road.
As you look, yes, they do cross by tree. They may also cross underground, but they don't actually cross the road.
Right. Okay. It's good to hear they're well trained and aware of traffic. No roadkill.
An eco forest, I'm sure.
Someone effectively created lots of those possum tracks across the high level netting and cables.
It's obviously humans trying to confuse people.
Okay, so the first thing you notice with this area is you seem to have passed into autumn.
Okay, yes.
As you head south. Because apparently the star map is in reverse.
Yes, I will check that.
So does that mean that the trees are maybe not providing quite so much cover, or it's more just a golds and reds covers rather than... Because we were in winter before, weren't we?
You were in winter before, and they had winter growth.
Which is possibly where we were getting less cover on the road because there might have been less foliage. But Now we'll hopefully at least still have the cover, but it'll be a lovely golds and reds and oranges. But as we're going along, certainly any time there is actually a gap in the trees, if at all, I'll be looking up to see if we can see any evidence of this eagle.
Yes, you do see lots of evidence of the eagle because it is quite loud
Right.
and very vocal.
Well, is it singing sea shanties as well?
No, it's just making a lot of noise.
It
Okay.
likes talking to itself?
Quite possibly.
Or possibly talking to others.
That's the thing. Does it sound like it's just sort of conversing, or does it sound like it's calling out in pain or anger?
So there's screech followed by screech, followed by screech, followed by screech, with different intonations of screech.
Right. So that does sound like it's actually talking to people or calling them.
You can interpret it that way, or if you say, hey, yeah, it's screeching.
Well, okay, it's conversing either at the level of speech or just in the way that a bird would. Either way around, it's not just making noise, it's not calling out in pain, it's not in distress. It actually sounds to me like it's the walk you get from is singing from a magpie that's territorial.
Yeah. But then also talking to Lani, with her knowledge of rocks, as in someone who's does she know whether or not they're normally an intelligent creature, or are they just animals? And I don't say just animals in a prerogative sense. It was because obviously, as far as I'm concerned, animals and their spirits are a vital part of the eco world. But are we expecting this thing to be intelligent?
Okay.
Well, given where we are and what we're doing, expect everyone to be intelligent.
Yeah, that's right. I was happy to accept that this particular one's likely to be intelligent anyway, but
From
our rocks are intelligent.
the standard rocks are considered high animal intelligence.
Right.
But they are monstrosities and not beasts, meaning they are more than animals.
Yeah.
Once you say more than animal, you're actually talking about the three being far more important for its intelligence than for a beast.
Yeah. But yes, as I say, in this particular situation, I think we can expect it to be intelligent because, hey, narwhals don't really talk either.
And they also known as sky titans.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
if I could persuade one to be a mount, it's really cool.
You probably could, but I'm not sure you can upkeep the food or payments required to keep it service.
If you're the sort of person who can easily persuade one to be a mount, you can afford to keep it fed. Even so, I'm looking at like at least 5 levels from now before I start thinking about that. At least for the rock. There are other things that would be better mounts.
Okay.
Okay. So you said it appeared to be going or layering upon the smaller of the two mountain peaks.
It is, yes.
Do we have any indications of how big that mountain peak is?
It looks to be probably about 100 feet above the top of the tree line.
Okay.
So not a huge outcropping, but considering the tree,
100 feet of no cover.
but considering the tree line is about 200 feet above the ground,
Yeah.
it's still a fair way up.
Yeah.
It's a fair way up. It's a good sized hill.
But it's also the fact that it's 100 feet of no cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or at least no tree line cover anyway. There might be enough rocks and stuff to hide them up.
Come on. You're good at this stuff. Surely you can get around that problem.
I say, I'm confident that I could get up there.
But you'd think the rock itself would be at least 50 feet tall.
Yeah.
Wow. How
At
does it
least.
land on that mountain then?
Probably quite carefully.
I think it lands between that hill and the one next to it and just goes, this is a nice...
It probably treat the mountaintop.
That's also possibly true. Just by sort of cleaning up around it as it's sitting there.
Do you need anything?
I was thinking of it in an energy drink.
That's the equivalent of a human sitting on top of an SUV.
Pretty much.
So, if it has one of these keys, presumably it'll be up the top of that peak.
So as you get closer, you notice that there is a wooden structure built on top of the peak, made out of what appears to be tree logs.
Okay.
Does it appear to be human-made?
Just gonna get some new
I'd say it looks more like a nest.
I was going to say, or are we talking about a nest of gigantic size?
So think a bird's nest made out of tree trunks instead of twigs.
Twigs, yep.
Which is why it ripped all the trees down off the mountain.
Yeah. So talking to the other members of the party and saying, well, if we're assuming this marvelous creature has one of the keys we're looking for, presumably it's up in the nest, are we aiming to recover the key or bargain for the key?
We'll try talking to it and bargain for it first.
Yeah, I think that might be.
That certainly involves.
From Lani's stories, very few people come off well against rocks. They are not quite the same as dragons. Dragons, if you make them unhappy, rarely become vicious and kill you, but rocks, if you make them unhappy, will basically hound you and sink you.
Gotcha. Yeah, so, I mean, if we could see the key, we should probably just take it. But if necessary, then we can negotiate, assuming this rock is as intelligent as the narwhal is. But in my history, they are intelligent. They're not that kind of intelligent.
In the stories you also know that there are horror stories of people who have stolen from rocks and had them chase them and hound them until it gets back what they stole, even generations later.
So maybe it's best to negotiate first.
Well, you say it's about 100 feet above the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the terrain, and I worked on the idea that we've now moved up the mountain range, aiming to stay undercover and be not be seen as much as possible. But before we actually exit the tree line, or exit where we get decent cover, looking at the terrain up the mountain further,
mm-hmm.
How long does it look like it would take to cover if someone was trying to run up the mountain as quickly as they can?
It looks like difficult terrain, so you'd have to cover about 160 feet before you can get decent cover.
As in cover of the tree line or cover of the nest?
Cover of the nest from the tree line.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, basically a few rounds of movement. So, for most people. Well, if we're planning on trying to talk to it, then I would suggest that Plural announce his presence by moving out on the tree line a few feet and calling out as loudly as you can. Can we see the rock from where we are?
You can. It is looking to the north.
Okay, but it's flying or nesting?
It is standing on top of the nest with its wings out. Its wings basically extend out probably about a wingspan of, say, about 150 feet.
Oh, good. So we got cover then.
It
I'm sure
had
you want to think of it that way.
so its feathers show a brilliant blue and green combination.
Okay, so I'm looking at a few options here. A, if we want to try and talk to it, it's a good opportunity for Clue to announce himself and step out from the tree line and call out. If we're not looking to talk to it and we want to try and recover the key without him even knowing we're there, I would suggest waiting here until it flies away, and then I'm willing to attempt to sneak up the remainder of the thing and grab the key, on the idea that if something goes wrong, then you guys can react and be up there moderately quickly thereafter. If others also trying to climb up stealthily, that's also a possibility.
I would like to probably add, if our goal is to try to talk to the creature, what if it isn't as fond of humans, such as the narwhal? Because I believe Luo told us that he's not much of a fan. So what if this rock is also not a fan?
That's why I'm suggesting that it be Clue announce himself. The rest of us stay undercover, out of sight.
To start with.
And then, potentially, the rock never need know the rest of us at all, if he's willing to negotiate or talk.
Yeah, once we find out it's worthwhile and I don't have to run anywhere, or zip out of the way, however I want to do it, because I have ways and means, then, we can find out.
We can also present where you are our leader and we are your hired muscle.
Well, yeah, these are the associates that I have helping me with my mission, is all I'm really going to put it to, the same way as I did with the novel. I'm going to leave off that I mentioned to the novel, your Lady Rama, basically get it as good so. Good.
Okay, so I'm going to have Lani have a perception roll.
Yes.
$21.
Okay, you realize that even though the rock is facing north, it's actually able to see you quite clearly from its way its head's pointing.
Yeah, it's God.
You have a feeling it's been watching the whole time.
Certainly the intent was that we remaining stayed in cover under the trees.
I think Luo should come and talk to it and we're bodyguards.
But the other one then is also, is there anything that it's worth or it's likely to want in the sense of different requests, like I say, can we effectively buy the key or bribe for the key?
Well,
do we know anything about
what it wants, what it's willing to accept?
Right, but like I say, being an animal or monster type of animal or animal plus intelligence, is it simply a case of it wants food? Not that we actually see a great deal of prey around here. Especially not prey at the size that they're probably looking for.
Depends on whether or not we're rare delicacies.
Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, humans are going to be really common delicacies.
It goes well with ketchup, I'm sure.
Oh god.
Well, remember, you don't have to outrun the eagle or rock. You just have to outrun the gnome.
I'm the slowest moving one.
Yes, that's the point.
Although, I guess,
Thank
technically,
God I got bombs.
whilst we haven't seen any evidence of the size of prey that the rock would normally eat, we've seen evidence of a number of other animals in the forest that probably wouldn't normally worry about because they're too small. But if we've got enough of them,
Well, yes, even so, it's still going to want some.
I've taken the
go
Nurofen
back
at
to the nest.
feet too.
Having a
if
dozen
we take it
humans,
to the nest,
if we got humans, it would need to have, say, an elephant with a howdah full of humans to go for humans.
well,
I
I'm
was
talking
gonna say-
like a pile of rabbits or something.
With the no, I don't think we'd be interested in that. But with the gnomes bombs, it would be a spicy popcorn chicken.
Yes, that's true.
So like Pop
but
Rocks.
I do think
Yeah.
you would probably want something more along the lines of a pile of deer would be more appetizing than something
Yes, that's true.
smaller than a human. You know.
But have we seen much evidence of deer in the forest?
You did see some more in the spring and summer side, but not in the autumn or winter side.
Yeah. So, but we've seen evidence of a few of the smaller critters in the autumn side where we are at the moment.
Some, but most of them are small to medium-sized creatures, nothing larger.
Just to
Yeah.
refresh my memory, it could be autumn on one side of the path and spring on the other.
It can, but you're in the autumn side of
The area at the moment,
Of
we're not
the
next to a
forest, yeah.
path that.
Yeah,
the
Crosses
the
over
path
the
is going
road.
through the middle of autumn.
Yep. Okay. Yep. That's why I wanted to refresh my memory.
But again, like it's the sort of thing that, yes, a few deer would be nice.
Question.
Yeah.
A pile of small animals might be nicer in the sense that they're not there delicate it doesn't normally get.
We amused the narwhal. Could we entertain the rock?
Quite possibly.
I could do a fireworks display.
Depends on if it likes fire.
Well, does anyone know enough about rocks to figure that out?
You did learn that they can be quite vindictive when annoyed.
I'm not sure that
was
fire
a
is the
thought.
ideal display for an animal creature.
There are fireworks that aren't actually burning and won't set light to things.
I guess we've got to find out what personality it's got first.
So, how does Llewell choose to get get its attention?
I can set off a firework that doesn't make noise.
Get it happening before you try and get its attention.
Because I will also point out again that it has been watching us the whole time.
I'm not saying, okay, no one said that I'm going to get its attention right now. I'm planning on how to get its attention. You're planning on backing me up. These things can happen at the same time and are. So you prep up what you want to do. I'm going to work out how I'm going to approach this rock.
All the
And I'm
bombs.
going to need two entirely different approaches, one of which is involving waving a large piece of beef and saying, look, we've got food.
I could throw a glitter bomb at it and make it look
Okay.
spicy.
Do you want to do you want to wait some hours and I will go and try and collect what I can
Well,
from the forest?
okay, either having a distraction or a present, both are a good idea. So your plan is a good idea, please go do that.
Mm.
I have no problem with the time it's going to take at the moment, because first up, I've got some thinking to do about how to present this, and the other one is I've got a couple of songs I need to transcribe for our pricing.
Being a tinkerer, would I be able to set up some traps to get animals?
That would be useful. Both of you go out and have fun.
Yep, I'll do that. It seems the most.
You could even set up a contraption to charge off and make things come to it.
That is what I'll work on.
And another one to carry home all the loot.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so while you're discussing this, you hear a loud, booming voice in mangled Elvish call out, Gelfling, why are you here from the top of the mountain?
So we got no choice.
Okay, we've reduced the choices of how to approach this from 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've run out of actual time.
I still have fireworks, if that looks like a problem.
Yes, well, yes, useful distractions.
So did that call come out before I left to go for my a few hours hunting.
You had about 3 or 4 steps before you heard it come out in Elvish.
All good.
Right.
So,
So you've been interrupted.
that's fine. Yeah.
I call out, projecting as best.
Go to get your food.
I call out, projecting as best I can. We wish to speak. Are you willing to do so? Are you willing to entertain us?
Well,
Okay, so it sort of cocks one wing up and says, Gelfling, why are you there?
let's see where this is going.
It seems it might not have heard you clearly.
No, it probably didn't, because I'm like 150 feet away downwards through the trees.
Well, you're under its wing.
Am I capable of doing like a fireworks or a smoke sign that says, "We can't hear you, we need to come closer"?
Quite possibly, but it might also set its wings alight.
I meant like in the air away from it.
You're currently under its wing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, missed that bit. Alright.
It has a wingspan of over 150 feet.
And it can't hear us.
Not clearly.
Okay.
we're too
Well,
far
we
away.
might need to get closer.
Tiny voices. Is just wait, we approach. I wave my hand and start climbing up the hill.
Okay, it calls out again. Gelfling, come closer, I can't hear you.
That'll do it.
Right. I'm thinking at the moment how best to be how to dissuade it from using me as a snack.
Well, you do realise that you probably wouldn't actually be a snack to it. It's the equivalent of popping a mint.
That's right, yes.
It'd be part of a horse.
The hors d'oeuvre.
Horse maneuver. If I was riding a horse, it would actually be valid for me. But I'm not. So.
But yeah, so, well, I guess we may as well all approach.
Yes.
You do see its feathers flare as the non-elves start approaching. It does look alarmed.
I presume if I've got no languages on my sheet, I don't know
Well,
any languages.
I'd say you know
I will
Elvish.
certainly,
Can I
I'll
try to
certainly
speak to an
stop
elf?
and hold hand out to encourage Lani towards that pause.
You could try calling out, yes.
I'll let Paul for the moment, I just...
Racial language.
So it does seem to understand Elvish, but you think it doesn't like humans very much the same as
No.
the others.
Fake critters won't. Which is why, again, I'm going to yell and say, do not worry about these humans. They're with me.
And okay, I'm also calling out as soon as he's finished talking to say that yes, we mean you no harm. Yelling at the top of the voice.
I'm pretty sure the rock's gonna go, "You can't harm me anyway," but the sentiment's appreciated.
Well, no, we could. It's got a low armor class.
Oh, does it?
And it's got a lot of hit.
It's a very big creature.
Well, and let's face it, if it's worried about humans, there's a reason for worried about humans.
True.
And
Presumably it has caused harm in the past.
and
humans can just reduce its environment.
in response to you calling out to it, it calls out again, Gelfling, still can't hear you, grab my wing, as it drops its wing down for you.
It wants to pick me up. It brings the wing down to where I can go hold
Yep.
and hold on to the wing.
A single feather is bigger than you are.
Yes. Well, I'm grabbing it like sort of a ladder
Mm-hmm.
because that's how big those things are going to be. Yes. So I'll climb onto the wing feather.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm certainly staying put, and I would expect the others are as well.
It lifts you up. You basically feel like you're flying even though it's not moving. as you rise up out of sight of most of the others as it drops you in its nest.
Yeah, well, considering it just moved me like 150 feet.
Not being human, would I be threatening to it?
If it doesn't understand you,
Okay. Just
It-
wondering.
you'd be more treated like a child than a threat in most cases if it doesn't understand what you are.
Oh, that'd be fine. I was just checking.
Okay, so as it drops you down, you see that you're surrounded by 5 large-sized rocks
Okay.
and a chest. As you see, looking down at it, you can see a lot of grey in the rocks, feathers up close.
Okay.
So when you say 5 large-sized rocks, you're not talking
No.
big rocks, you're talking rocks of large size, i.e. babies.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Large size with a capital L. I sort of got that from the way he said that.
Yep.
That is correct.
So, and it's the only way you're going to get that many rocks in one place like this. Is
Okay.
there are babies.
And as you're standing next to him, he bellows at you the same sort of volume he was while you were down the mountain. Gelfling, why are you here?
I yell and deepen my voice a bit because I might be a bit too shrill for him normally. That I'm here to talk to him.
He nods as if you're whispering. He says, "Speak up! I can barely hear you."
All right, is his wing still accessible to me, or am I still attached to it?
It does bring his head almost right down to you.
Okay, I was going to climb up his wing and get on his shoulder.
Is bad hearing a normal thing for rocks, or you mentioned the grey feathers? Is this an older rock?
He does look an older rock, but hard to
He's an
tell
old rock.
his
There's
age
grey
from.
feathers like that.
Does Claude know the spell shout?
Yeah, that's.
It would actually be perfect for this condition.
Absolutely.
It would be, except I'm not a wizard, so I don't have that. I'm pretty sure it's not even on my list.
Well, it's also not a spell people normally take if they do have it. So.
I know.
No. That's what wands and scrolls are for. The
Yep.
spells that you need once in an adventure at most. And that's why you always carry scrolls if you can use them. But I'm a warlock. I'm there to blow holes in stuff.
So you're yelling loud enough for the people down the mountain to hear you.
Yeah, and he's barely hearing me.
Yeah.
There isn't. I don't have a communication spell that would actually be useful for this.
Would I be able to tinker some sort of trumpet?
You could.
Yes.
The voice?
Actually, there's a point. Could
I can give
you
that a try.
Okay. Give me a
hearing trumpet,
roll,
or in fact, particularly a
D20
speaking
roll?
trumpet?
and
Oh,
then
that's
She's
not
like,
good.
she's
we
like
would
that.
add
I know, 100 odd feet away and down a hill.
7 to the no. You would add 9 to the roll.
18.
18. So, the gnome has crafted a trumpet for you.
A speaking trumpet.
Speaking trumpet.
Yeah.
Uh,
So megaphone.
megaphone.
Yeah.
Out of materials he has down the mountain.
And I'm indicating to Lowell that
You
I
can
can bring
pretty
it
much yell it
forth
up.
if... Pardon?
You pretty much yell it up.
Okay, I yell up using my speaking horn saying if...
Just before you do, I'll tap you on the shoulder and say, can I call out in Elven so the rock understands?
I know Elven as well, but yeah, sure.
Oh, you know Elven? Okay, do you know Elven?
I don't mind if you want to do it.
No, I'm happy. Yeah, I got the impression before that you didn't know Elven. I was thinking that was like, I thought, oh.
Martin
I
said
thought
that even though my languages aren't written down yet, that Elven's probably one of the ones that I
Absolutely.
have.
So, yeah, so certainly I'd recommend you speaking Elven when you're doing it, just so
Yeah.
the rock understands what the yelling, if it hears it,
Yeah.
is about.
So,
Unless, of course, also it needs an extra deep lungs as opposed to a gnome's voice.
I
We'll see
let
how good your company is.
Lewell know that I've got a speaking trumpet.
So yes, you hear the gnome's voice echo off the mountains around you as it's calling out. What message do you call out?
I have a speaking trumpet.
So you have this really loud "I have a speaking trumpet" come out in Elven, and the rock sort of turns and looks down at the thing, and you hear it bellow, and so you do little gnomish thing.
I thought that the elf might use it so that you can hear him better.
Well, why doesn't he just speak up? It says.
He's got amplification problems.
It turns and looks at you and bellows at the Llewell. Do you have trouble speaking up?
Nothing else is really going to work.
Sore
I don't know
throat.
what his vision's like.
Okay, so moments later it sticks its wing down for the gnome.
Okay. Can I grab the wing?
You can grab the wing,
Okay.
and then you have the experience of flying. Terrifying as it is.
Whee!
And find
That's
just
love flying in a ship.
I give the speaking trumpet to Luol as soon as I'm within reach.
and then you're sitting in a nest with 5 large-sized rocks.
I
all staring
stand
at you.
very, very close to Luol.
Right, I'm tall, so I'll get eaten first, right?
The other thing you notice is there's lots of bones in the nest.
Very,
Of course
very,
there is.
very close to Luol.
You're
Hiding under his cape if he's got one a little.
you're
or cloak.
smaller than most of the bones.
Yeah, no, I'm. I mean, I don't make a snack
Yep.
for a thing.
From our position, can we see the smaller rock heads poking out the top of the nest?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have a feeling that is, from Llewell's perspective, why the rock is here and not leaving the nest that much.
Oh, yeah, no, it was more like, I was thinking of the fact that, yes, if I was aware that there were ticks in the nest, then potentially rabbit-sized food would be still valuable and worthwhile.
It would be greatly accepted if you knew.
And if I'm not aware of the ticks, then there's no point in me going looking for it at this stage.
Yep. Okay, so as you get the speaking horn, you find that you can yell quite comfortably in it and be understood by the rock.
I will use the horn and reiterate what we're here for and introduce us.
He says it has been more than 1,000 years since he's had a conversation with an elfling.
Wow.
That's far too long for anyone to wait for a chat with someone reasonable.
He's chatted with gnomes. He's met gnomes.
Does he recognise me
Yes.
as a gnome?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say nothing tongue in cheek.
And currently his diet consists of mainly humans and their mounts, whether they're flying or riding,
So wyverns.
or horses.
Yeah, but you said flying or riding. So.
Yeah,
And you mentioned earlier that there were wyvern riders. So
he could have taken down a hot air balloon as well.
true.
Yes.
Don't know how sustaining that would be, but sure.
Well, the four humans in the basket would have been fine.
Mm.
On the other hand, humans aren't going to be that sustaining for a critter this big.
Mm.
Not one that normally goes for things the size of elephants.
Mm.
No, but it would. A human would probably feed one of its hatchlings.
Oh yeah, true. But this is the thing: humans on mounts are going to be far more enticing than just humans.
Yep. Because he gets a meal and the chicks get a meal.
Yeah, because he gets a snack. He's going to need an entire adventuring party with mounts to actually get anywhere. Yeah, his feeding problems are a bit huge. And worse than dragons, because dragons can go for a long time without food. And also eat rocks.
So
Trees and stuff.
it tells you it is the guardian of the eagle medallion. It received the key from the tree keeper of the Sylvan Realm.
He's very proud being asked to look after that.
He is, and he was. He had promised he would not give up the key to anyone who cannot produce their Chimera key.
I add that to the list.
It is amusing just how often some of the things are interlinked.
Of course they're going to be interlinked. You've got 12 keys for something. It's not just a list of things to go and find. You've got to get one, to get another, to get another, to get another, to get this other thing that gets you the ability to get the fifth one. There's no point having just a list of stuff.
And it says, and if you can provide some food for its hatchlings, it will then empower the key so you may use it.
That would be amazing. Swap. So this is where we go and get half a herd of whitetails. Yes, not going to be easy.
It does tell you that the forest itself contains many creatures, so you do have lots of options.
Excellent. So we will do as you ask and save you some time and effort.
Though he says troll is really the best sustaining food if you can capture it.
Where would they be found?
Yes. Anywhere where there are trolls. Sorry. Bad answer.
Well, I presume the rock would probably know the areas that trolls most traverse.
They normally prefer underground, it says.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it can't reach it. But considering one troll can sustain the family for generations.
Yes, as long as you keep the
I
troll
wonder if I can
fed
make a
with whatever
troll
you can feed it.
Well, no, they regenerate even if you don't feed them.
Oh, true. No, they don't actually need food to do that.
That's right. As long as you don't swallow them whole and use your stomach acid on them.
Yeah. Well, no, in this case, it's pull the leg off, put some hot butter and pepper on it, and eat it. Wait half an hour and do it again.
And that is a rather horrific food, considering the troll is sentient. But the troll is also considered a pest species as well.
Oh yeah, because they're vicious, nasty, will eat absolutely anything, and are rude, and usually smell.
Well, they do come from a society where no matter how much you hurt someone, they recover from it.
Yeah, as long as it's not fire or acid.
But they don't use that with each other.
No, it depends. You get someone who decide to punish a criminal, and they'll set light to him. Or rip a leg off and set light to the stump. Of course, that's entirely fictional. As a side thing, you also end up with really nasty traps in dungeons where you find some magically chilled food, one of which is a frozen haunch or something, and you put it in with the rest of the food, and then the troll leg falls out in your pack.
That's a lot of learning experience there.
The worst part is when you open your pack and a troll crawls out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the whole point is you don't open the pack, the troll just gets out.
That would be a concern.
Okay, so the rock points to the south and says if you follow the path to the south, you'll come to the Chimera Key. Before it curves back, and he points to the what's supposed to be the east. Yeah, that's right. The star map's actually reversed, which is funny. Yep. So it's to the east, and he says that mountain range there, which is one of the tallest mountains of the forest, the path passes right between the mountains, and there you will also find the Manticore Key.
Okay. Is that held by Manticore or somebody else?
You would assume so.
You've not travelled there then.
He chooses not to travel near the other keys.
Well, no, that's fair enough. I can see that.
So we should get to this food first.
I'm going to call out in Elven on the idea that the rock won't hear me anyway, but I'm assuming we've been hearing this conversation.
You have.
At the mountain shaped after each shook in each certain part phrase.
Everyone within about
Does it know where the palace is?
Considering it flies around and looks at things.
So do you ask it that?
I'm calling that out in my loud voice so I can be heard up to the top of the mountain, into the nest. But I'm assuming that it won't hear me. But I'm calling it Elven, so therefore, if it does, it at least knows what was asked. And we're not trying to talk in a way that's or in a manner that covert.
Unrelated question.
Okay, it says if you follow the path south from the city centre, it will take you to the Elven Palace, which sits in the middle of a river as the bridge span.
Okay, thank you. City.
So south from the centre of the city?
There is only one city in the forest.
You said follow the path south from the city?
From the city, yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to call out again then. So the path that we're on now goes past the Chimera and the Manticore.
And then it enters the city from the west.
Right, yeah, then get to the city. Yep.
Yes.
It is the western path.
Actually, there's no reason or thought that it's worth trying to go across country through the forest to get there. We might as well we'll be almost at the city again by the time we've gone to the Chimera and Manticore.
Yes.
And when you head south from the city, you'll pass through the Griffin Fields before you reach the tower.
Okay, is there anyone there in Griffin Fields that's worthwhile talking to, or should we just avoid Griffins?
Griffins are overly chatty with not much to say.
Right, so avoid them for social reasons.
They don't shut up until you eat them.
Okay, fair enough. And given our size differences, might try and eat us.
Possibly, but they might want to talk to you.
Okay, from your perspective, I'm presuming you think the latter of that is worse.
I would find conversations with them too, feeling like someone's boring a hole in my ears again. I think they're the reason I can't hear that well.
Oh. Well, if we can find some way to help your hearing, we'll do that too.
Is that something
I'm
that I
trained
can
for this sort of thing, so I can handle
help
it.
with?
You're not sure because it does look like it is old age.
Okay. But hearing aids often work
He's
for the
he's
elderly.
old.
They do.
So you might be able to, so the gnome might be able to make a hearing aid.
Yeah, the gnome might, and then he might actually hear things a little clearer and get frustrated because he can hear everything.
I don't know that I think I would give it some sort of volume control. But it's something I'll think about. Will we come back to the rock?
You
We're going
most
to come
likely
back
will.
with the food, so
You also have to
But
find
also
the
if they
medallion.
come back to collect the key.
yeah. So
Yes,
I'll work on making plans and
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to do that on the way.
Here's the thing: if he's got a hearing, a speaking horn, on the side of his head, but it's strapped on, of course. Where if he flicks his head, it twists back out of the way, so he can turn the thing off basically, and then flick again and turn it back on again. You could do something like that where it flips back and forth.
I'll work on it and see if I can come up with something.
One part of the things with it is it's going to need to be able to put on and taken off by either himself or, if that's too difficult, his kids.
Yeah.
Or her kids.
Or enchant a ring.
Or enchant,
Yeah.
enchant
I
sort of
will
speech.
figure on it and see what I can tinker or enchant.
Yeah.
I expect it's an obvious question, but just confirming, are the Guardians of the Chimera Key, is it a Chimera? And do the Griffins and Manticores also guard keys?
It looks at you and says, everything here guards a key. Unless it's human, then they steal keys. Humans steal things.
Right.
And each guards a key of its own design, i.e. so the Chimera Key is guarded by a Chimera?
He believes the Chimera Key is guarded by a
Manticores guarding
Chimera.
a Manticore Key?
The Manticores guard a Manticore Key, the Centaurs guard the Centaur Key, the Griffins guard the Griffin Key. A Warrior guards the Warrior Key. He's not sure how the House guards the House Key, but a Lizard guards the Lizard Key, and Justice protects the Justice Key.
Okay.
But you went really fast. Centaur, Griffin, Warrior?
Centaur, Griffin, Warrior, then House,
Ah,
Lizard, Justice.
thank you. Thank you.
Then you have
All
Nymph,
things
Hydra,
sorted, you have
and
to
Narwhal.
Yes. So,
Now, just confirming here as a player perspective, and I can't remember if it was confirmed at the time, we're gathering these 12 keys to bring them back to the city to put into some dais or something,
Yep.
and that dais will... What do we expect to happen when we get all 12 keys?
You don't know because you hope it's going to help.
Okay.
we're trying to save the life of
The tree
the
life.
tree.
Yes. So,
The dais is linked to that.
does this Guardian know what happens when the keys are put together and activated onto the dais?
He says the trees have never been. He says the keys have never been brought together.
So we don't know. So we put them all together and we get a really big watering can and some green liquid in it.
The tree keeper never needed the keys.
Yes.
Just
So the keys are a backup.
a question of curiosity. If the rock has been around for over 1,000 years, has it had the key for all of that time?
Its father.
So it's
gave
been
him the
handed
key.
down?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And his great grandfather was given the key.
Okay. So it's been around for many thousands of
And
years.
he himself spoke to the tree keeper before the elves went away.
It's sad.
So what we're basically doing at the moment is collecting together a bunch of keys that have never been used for what is hopefully their only ever use.
Well, he does say that his great grandfather was given the key by Ilsundel himself.
Well, I'm not entirely surprised.
Because in Ilsundel created them and the tree itself.
Yes. So Ilsundel saw a reason to have it back up to the proper tree keeper. Fair enough. Yeah.
Does she know anything about the inhabitants of the palace? Aside from the fact that they're dirty humans that steal the keys, steal stuff.
Yes.
That's basically what it says about the inhabitants of the palace. You've just answered it perfectly for the eagle. Rock, I should say.
It was more a case of whether there was any description as to
Who they actually were.
who the leader was or anything like that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah, back in a sec.
It does say it hasn't caught the leader, but everyone else is tasty.
right.
Keep working on that.
It's basically like having a delicacy where you have to peel the shell off first.
What?
Bit like lobster.
It doesn't like the crispy, crunchy outside and the soft nougat centre?
Doesn't come out the same way it goes in.
Like pistachios.
So just to confirm it for you, all the keys in order. It starts with the manticore, then the eagle, then there's Chimera, then the Centaur, then the Griffin, then the Warrior, then the House, then the Lizard, then Justice, then the Nymph, then the Hydra, and then the Narwhal. So that's all 12 keys. With a note that Justice does not have a bar in front of it. It's it's an odd one out.
Oh, okay. I've only got 10. I got out of order too.
It should be
Which one am I
12.
missing? Yeah, I'm missing 2.
So Manticore.
Yep.
Got that down.
Yep.
Then Eagle.
That'll be one. I've written it elsewhere, but not in my list.
You know the list, yeah.
Then Chimera. Or Chimera, as it's mostly pronounced by other people.
Yep.
Centaur.
Yep.
Griffin.
Yep.
Warrior.
Yep.
House.
Yep.
Lizard.
Yep.
Justice.
Yep.
Nymph.
Yep.
Narwhal. Hydra. Then Narwhal.
Yeah, I've got 12 now. I didn't write down Eagle and Chimera because they were in the
All good.
big notes.
So, what does the rock want with the Chimera key?
It wants to confirm that you collected the Chimera key as proof of being worthy to accept the Eagle key.
And possibly to make sure that we're collecting them in some kind of order, like you might have to have the Chimera key before you go and get the Eagle key or something.
It doesn't believe anyone who is not worthy can take the Chimera key and live.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah. The other thing is, it looks
He
like
considers the Chimera a even more powerful guardian than itself?
No, he believes anyone who can pick up the Chimera key and live to be worthy of its key.
Pick up the Chimera key.
it does look like, okay, it does look like it's, hi, here's the list of keys, we have to find out how to get all of them and then pick them up in reverse order. Yeah. But pick up the Chimera key, which indicates it's not being guarded per
So is
se,
that
it's being sat on by something we don't
What
want
it
to
looks
do.
like? Because I didn't know what it looks like.
Chimera.
That is what a Chimera can look like in D&D, yes.
Okay, cool. I
Um,
wasn't reading up on it, just looking at it.
Is that the lizard version or the rooster version?
The Chimera one she's looking at has the 3 heads, the goat, lion, and dragon.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking the wrong thing. Yes, the multiple-headed critter that is going to want to eat you and or talk to you and or just flame you all at the same time.
That is going to be some really difficult multitasking.
3 conversations at once with 3 completely different personalities.
Yes, fortunately there's 3 of us here. 4 of us here.
I suggest we get a pebble and whoever's holding the pebble gets to speak.
Hot potato?
Well,
It might eat the potato.
well, no, if we persuade it properly, we can use the key as the thing to hand around while we're talking to it, and
Yeah,
then sort of manage to walk away after we're done.
depends on how intelligent it is.
Yeah. And how persuasive I can be.
Yes. Alright, so...
so I'm still curious as to the Rock's statement there that the Chimera key is the one that he thinks indicates the greatest worth. As in, he doesn't, or she doesn't think that the obtaining the other keys would be equally worthy.
None of them are part of their stewardship.
So if we got, say, the Centaur key and brought that back, she'd say, no, not good enough, go get the
Pretty
Chimera.
much so.
Yep, okay.
And
I think that's where Jeremy was going.
yep.
Yeah, that's right. I also think that on that sense, that not within their domain or whatever type of stuff, is that suggesting that it's partly because the Chimera key is also of autumn.
It is
Yeah.
also of autumn,
Yeah.
and
Right, okay.
you think that was part of the instructions given to the Rock's family from Ilsander.
Is the Manticore key also part of autumn?
The Manticore key is technically part of Autumn as well.
So, but the Manticore key would not be as strong evidence as the Chimera key?
The Manticore key does not mean anything to the Griffin. To the rock. It doesn't consider it a...
Presumably the Chimera is much more dangerous than the Manticore.
And you also need to provide enough food to feed the rock before it will give you the key itself.
So the rock understands we won't be doing that until we come back.
Well, it understands that, which is why it's not giving you the key straight away.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But it also then means that, yes, potentially we can be doing a little extra hunting each day than we have been doing for, like, to aim to get a little extra each day rather than just out of what we need.
You can.
We're eating for our own rations.
It also did hint at gathering a troll would be kind of ideal if we were able to capture one alive.
Yep.
Well, it's very hard to capture one dead unless you use fire or acid.
So they would like the troll to still be there, wouldn't fire or acid diminish all the food?
It would.
So alive it is.
Also very difficult to do.
An ice bomb?
But you do think if you can provide it a troll, you may actually gain its friendship.
So ice bombs. I should be looking at ice bombs. Just freeze it in a solid rock of ice and then hand it back and then it'll be a troll icy pole.
The troll pole.
Yeah. I'm going to start working on those bombs too.
Well, I'm guessing that given the how they travel, get down to it, and how we've been talking to it for a while, that we may not want to try and get any further currently this evening.
I think you would finish the day there.
I don't know that we want to camp in the rock's nest though.
No, it's okay. I'm still in the nearby area.
Yeah.
So, but it also then means that, yes, I will spend the last couple of hours, whatever, until sundown, when we're back down near the road area, doing a bit of hunting for some rabbits or the like, and we're setting snares for checking in the morning, with the intent of providing at least a small snack before we leave.
I'll help set snares.
Okay, so between you and between the plainsman and the gnome, you managed to collect a decent amount of small game.
Yay!
Noting that, okay, I'm very specifically looking at the smaller game, not things like deer, i.e. my tribal totem.
I know.
You could call yourself Oh dear.
What, you mean I've lost one?
Well, you've lost the name.
I'm no longer Pear Oh dear, I'm just one, I'm just Oh dear.
Just Oh dear.
Oh dear, Pear dear gone?
Yeah.
Well,
Could be dear less.
Yeah.
is he very annoyed?
Or
And
dog.
he usually is fully mowed in.
Oh dear?
But yeah, so the intent being that we will leave an offering in the morning before departing further southwards.
Okay. So you leave your offering and depart further south on the next day. Heading, following the forest, because the path always seems to lead you right where you want to go. Strange how elves do that. And following it into a very deep, dark part of the forest, you head up a steep slope on the path and glimpse the head of three creatures quickly retreating into a cabin.
Ah, Chimera.
Yes. Do we recognise the creatures?
They were faint and disappeared quickly. Give me a perception roll to see if you noticed what it was before it disappeared.
Well, I got
You
17.
gonna roll my dice for me, Darian? No?
You want another dice roll?
Could you roll my dice for me?
I rolled a 14 for you.
I got a natural 20 if I can throw anything.
Nice.
So yes, you got a lot better than the one I rolled on for Ariadne. So we'll go with what you said.
Yeah.
Considering I rolled a 2.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I don't roll other people's dice.
Yeah.
So yes, on your natural 20, you picked up that it was a chimera retreating into the cavern. Jeremy, you got about 17?
Yeah.
You recognized what appeared to be a dragon retreating.
Okay.
And what did Paul roll as well?
I recognise it.
I'm just assuming it's a Shimara.
I recognise it as a dragon and 2 unidentified creatures. Is that to me? Or
Yeah.
guys or dragon?
You saw dragon before you identified the others, and they pulled back.
And the dragon was frightening enough to say, okay, yep, I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Right. And I rolled well enough to determine something moved.
You saw the movement. Jeremy saw the
I don't-
head. And
And most people who see dragons generally don't look further.
That's right. So, yeah, I guess we've also one of the things, obviously, during this passage, like on our way there and or the night before, with the information we got from the rock about the fact that, oh yes, there's chimeras and manticores and centaurs and everything like that, do we have people in the party that actually recognise what we're expecting when we talk about a chimera? And manticores and centaurs and things like that, for that matter?
I recognize it as a chimera, but what do I know about chimeras?
They are extremely vicious animals, and rarely will they back down from a fight. They are quite intelligent with the dragon aspects. They are quite fierce with the lion aspects, and they are extremely stubborn with the goat aspects. So imagine mixing them all together in one creature.
And do they have fire breath? I can't remember. I think they do.
Depends on the type of dragon that they are paired with.
True.
Most often they are paired with a black dragon, meaning that they will most likely do psychic or necrotic damage.
You.
Did Lani manage to spot the colour of the dragon's head? In this particular, obviously, as I say, I'm working on the idea that as a party last evening, we passed on any knowledge that people had about the various critters that have been discussed as potential guardians.
The colour was green, meaning it would be doing poison or acid damage.
Oh,
You know, that's good for my character.
Resistance, I do.
Trying to take slightly less damage from it.
Yes.
So if we're talking earth sometime.
But it's also a type you'd expect to find in a forest.
Yeah.
question: can I make potions as well as bombs?
You can. You can make a certain amount of stuff. I have some of it up on here, but not
I was
all of
looking
it.
for a love or a friendship type potion bomb.
Okay. Well, technically you can't do one of them easily or quickly,
Okay.
but you can create an acid bomb, a big bomb, a burning bomb, or a flashy thing.
Yep.
As well as an acid vial, an alchemist fire, black powder charge, a oil, a paint pot, a basic poison, a smoke bomb, a tanglefoot bag, or a basic torch or an alchemical torch. Difference between the basic torch and the alchemical torch is the alchemical torch will not ignite other things. It is a chemical glow instead of a fire.
So would I have more than one of those available to me?
You
like
can-
2 or 3, or
You can make any of those as a bonus action, but they
Right.
deteriorate at the end of the round.
okay. Fair enough. Just want
So
to
you
kind
want
of have an
one
idea of if we end up in a confrontation, what I can do.
So Ariadne is a mixture of multiple different types of artificer to give her the ability to create bombs and grenades and do save your butt stuff in
I've
a
got to work on love
moment.
bombs and friendship
Cool.
bombs.
Now you described the creature as going into the cavern. Did it look like, and I don't know if anyone got a good enough look, did it look like it was running away from us, or entering the cavern randomly at the time that we arrived, or...
Retreating,
Retreating.
which is completely out of character from what Lani knows of a chimera. You would never see a chimera retreat from anything it doesn't consider a superior foe.
So
how
humans
big
are
was
a
it?
problem in this area.
It was big enough that even the rock might have had trouble against it.
Okay, so it's a big cavern then too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't it a hut?
Cabin.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Don't know why I wrote hut. Pain brain.
All good.
Okay, can we see any evidence of any other tracks or anything like that going into this cavern or out of this cavern?
You head up to the cabin.
Well, approaching the pathway towards it and looking around to see if the
It's
we're
about
actually getting there.
probably about 200-300 feet from the path.
Okay. Actually, yeah. So heading in that direction towards the cavern then.
Mhm.
But on the way, I'm definitely looking out for signs of tracks and trails and all that sort of stuff.
I will give you a survival roll to find some.
28.
Okay. There are absolutely no tracks, paths, or signs of movement towards the cave.
Does
He's
the
just
chimera have
meowing at
wings?
the insects in the window.
You didn't see them.
He's just sitting in the window meowing at the insects.
But according to the legends or whatever that Lani had heard about previously, they normally have wings.
They can, but they can also be wingless.
Okay. Well,
And
As long as
and
they're
you,
dragons, they vary.
the other thing you
Yeah.
also note is that there are no claw marks or paw marks or hoof marks outside the cave.
I will point this out to the guys, the society, and say, I didn't see wings on it, and I'm not seeing any evidence of it or anything else moving around here.
I'll also point out it's acting out of character. Something's odd here.
Okay. Can we hear anything in the cabin?
Not a wiggly.
You hear your heart beating in an echo.
Wow.
Okay, well, we will keep moving cautiously towards the cabin and can we
Yeah.
see or hear how dark it is? I'm guessing the size of it is probably light for some distance inside.
Looking inside, there's no natural light going in the cave. The cave is facing away from where the sun goes.
Do we have any light on us?
You can create light.
Can I create the one that doesn't burn shit?
Sure. You create an alchemical torch as a bonus action.
Okay.
Doesn't take you much to do so. And what color would you like the light to be?
A soft, warm glow.
You could have made it blue if you wanted to.
No, just a soft, warm glow. You know, nothing frightening.
Okay, so you get a sort of yellowy red glow coming off a vial from your.
Something calming, I guess.
It depends on the creature. Some creatures will find blues and greens coming.
Really?
Mm.
Oh,
And
didn't know that.
a chimera, you might
I'll make it blue
have
then.
different effect for each head.
Yeah.
Because
I was going to say you possibly look at green because it was
Oh, yeah. No, it's a good idea. Green.
But I also recognise the fact that I probably don't expect you can make different colours, so therefore it's a case of you make your colour. You're making the clothing.
She can actually make it any color she likes. She's that good.
We're gonna go with green because of Jeremy's good.
Right, no, wet hair that you can make different colours.
So yes, you make a nice green glow that lights up around you like a lantern.
Yay!
Yeah, she's basically an alchemist, which means she can be very flexible.
Yeah.
That's
Not my experience with alchemists before.
So the artificer has a new ability called tactical chemistry.
Cool.
That's a really good description of a combat alchemist.
And so this is one of the abilities of the technical Chemistry is you can create alchemical light.
This is
So-
the book we bought specifically. Yeah.
Okay, so yes,
Alchemical light.
you'll find that in the level up alchemist character class. They all work well together. I'm just sort of blending them to give a flexible character instead of a specific character. Okay, so what you see as the whole cavern starts to light up is a spine-chilling stone statue of a horrific monster standing in front of you. Absolutely immobile, its three heads seem to gaze at you. You realize that it's a lion, a goat, and a dragon, and suddenly feel dizzy. So each of you get to roll a d6 and tell me what you roll.
Okay. 2.
All rolled a 2.
I rolled a 5.
1 for myself.
3.
I keep having to write no name for
I'm guessing
Jeremy.
above a 4 you're not affected, and below a 4 you are.
Okay, so I will read it out as it goes. So, for Llewell and he shall remain nameless.
Voldemort.
Oh, no.
And that's he shall not be named.
Oh, okay.
I made it slightly different.
Slightly different description, yeah.
Okay, so for the two of you, your visions blur, and you feel as if you have been sleeping for a long time. You're
So
sitting.
does this mean... Sorry, does this mean that we can call not prayer deer now no eye deer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can if you wish.
Gotta call him something. He who shall remain nameless is a lot to write in the journal every time he does it.
And I change it slightly every time, so you got a completely different name. Because you can't use the same name because he's nameless.
I reckon I gotta go with no idea.
Yeah. What's the acronym? Well, we pick an acronym and then work out what it actually means.
Okay, so for our Llewell and Jeremy's character, who will remain
Or
nameless.
you can just leave it as the Atruaghin.
That sounds like a name.
Which is great until we go back to Atruaghin.
Yeah, but next up, I didn't have a name, so I'm sure as far as the journal goes,
That's true.
the tribesman or the Atruaghin.
Do you mean I've got to learn how to spell Atruaghin
Just say
properly?
tribesman.
That's what I said,
Tribesman.
Tribesman, yeah.
Okay, so returning back to Llewell and the tribesman. Your visions blur and it feels as if you have been sleeping for a long time. You're sitting in a large room at a table along with a series of creatures wearing long red robes. Two horns point out from their hoods, revealing their goat-like faces. One of the creatures point at you, accusing you of transgressing the law. Shortly thereafter, you feel hands pushing you towards a wooden chopping block near one of those creatures who is raising a large axe. What do you two wish to do?
Currently,
Your video's frozen.
My video's frozen? Well, it's frozen at a nice point.
Yeah, you're pretty. Which is not the best thing for us.
Surprise!
are we aware of each other?
No. You were there alone. Isolated. Cut off from everyone else.
Well, certainly I'm attempting to struggle and avoid, I'll aim to get myself out of the grapple or whatever type stuff.
So that should now have fixed.
Yeah.
So yes, give me a... I will make it a strength saving throw.
Oh, goody.
Was that meant to be sarcastic or delighted?
Oh, absolutely sarcastic. You gotta remember, this party, I was the strongman in the party with my strength of 10.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, an actual 20!
Woohoo!
Okay, so
So I got 22. I'm good.
so you break free of them, and we will talk about you later. So Llewell, you are being taken towards this chopping block. What are you trying to do?
What, you there?
And how are you going to try to not be there?
Okay. Am I actually me, or am I somebody else?
It's your hands, your clothing, your body.
Who else would you be?
Well, that's the thing. It could be recreating somebody else. I'm being dragged, led.
You're being dragged by people either side of you.
Okay. I'm going to attempt anyway. I don't know what restrictions are on here. I'm going to attempt to do a misty step and
I'm just getting
away towards the door and see if I can leave before they catch me again. Misty step being a 30-foot teleport.
Okay. You attempt to Misty Step. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I expect something like this. A 15.
15. Okay. You appear in the away from them, having jumped away, and you find yourself surrounded again. And they grab your arms and start dragging you towards the chopping block again.
Okay. So no chance to move further away from them while they work out where I am.
There's a lot of them.
Ah.
No.
So I go from being surrounded by one lot, being surrounded by another lot.
You seem to have jumped yourself right into the middle of another group that you hadn't seen.
Okay.
On the black side, it looks like they've only got one chopping block.
Yeah, sure.
So they can't take shortcuts.
They're also not doing bacon, so they're not doing shortcut bacon, aren't they?
Okay, so
They're doing long pork, that's all. Long bacon.
so while you're struggling, how else would you like to struggle?
Okay. I'm gonna try and persuade them to not do anything unpleasant to them.
Okay,
So it's going to be a social interpersonal struggle.
give me a charisma saving throw.
Say. Okay. Is there a fire rate? It's 24.
24. Okay, you seem to argue incessantly with them to the point you seem to fade away as well. Okay, so...
Okay. So I managed to talk them into not killing me in time. Seems to have been useful.
Okay, so now we're going to Duke, the tribesman, and Llewell. Your vision blurs, and it feels as if you have been sleeping for a long time. Apparently you didn't get out. You wake up in a long corridor. At one end, a dozen large lions rush in your direction. The other end of the tunnel is an opening leading to the outside. On the other, I think you should say on the other end of the tunnel, not the other end of the tunnel. Running out, you suddenly arrive in an arena. The voices of hundreds of beholders roar the word "kill, kill, kill." 12 lions appears at the gate behind you. The glow of hunger in their eyes as you're each standing in this area by yourself.
Did you say hundreds of beholders?
Yes.
The beholder or just people looking at us?
Beholders.
As in, like, eye killing.
It's worded the same no matter which way you take it.
Oh,
So you can.
I was thinking the dozen lions look bad, but if the arena is just full of beholders as in floating ice stalks type stuff.
So whichever terrifies you the most, that's it.
Oh, okay, good. Well, if the whole crowd is full of beholders, as in floating eyes, that obviously can't be real.
right. So what terrifies them? A room full of beholders wearing clown hats.
So what would I'll start with Ariadne for this one. What would you like to do as you're in this arena with 12 lions rushing towards you by yourself?
Cast smoke bomb,
Okay.
or throw a smoke bomb.
Okay. You're reaching into your pockets, looking for something. Give me a intelligence saving throw.
20?
You have a D20, and it's one of your key ones, so you get to add
Things that are going
8
well.
to the roll.
17.
17. Okay. So you managed to pass from that dream.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so what would our tribesman like to do as 12 lions is rushing towards him?
Right, excellent. I look at the audience and think this cannot be real.
This cannot be real. Give me
It must be a dream. What about that?
give me an insight roll.
Insights.
Mhm.
8 is 15.
Okay, you are completely sure it's not real as you're mauled to death by 12 lions.
At least the Mohs would get me.
And you don't pass into the next dream.
Okay.
Okay, Luell, what would you like to do having heard the things that went before you?
Well, except of course you don't know nothing about it because you weren't.
Well,
I don't.
Yeah, I realize this is my version of it.
So 12 hungry lions rushing towards you.
I could try and dissuade them by shooting them, so I'm going to do so with Eldritch Blast because that's my thing.
Okay, give me a charisma saving throw.
Okay. I get mauled to death by all of the lion at once.
So what did you get, a 1?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming your spells fizzle.
I find my Eldritch Blasts and all of them miss. I dented some sand.
Okay, so now we're on to Lani and Duke. So both tribesmen and Luell have stopped dreaming. So, Lani and Duke, your vision blurs and you feel as if you have been sleeping for a long time. You're alone in a cavern and your fellow adventurers are gone. In front of you sits a huge black dragon. After a short clinical laugh, it breathes on you. What does Lani do?
Smile.
It breathes on me?
Yep, a rain of acid. So it's raining.
Oh,
Think Mandalorian versus the Great Dragon.
yeah. Will you not have a shield? I will try to draw a shield and take cover, I guess.
Okay,
Okay.
I will give you a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Ooh, that might be good. 21.
21. Okay. You managed to withstand the attack and wake up. Okay, Duke. You've got the same thing. A dragon is firing acid down at you.
I pull out an umbrella.
Okay.
Singing in the rain. It's not what I can do.
I will give you a charisma saving throw.
With the rock coming down.
Oh shit. 11. 11. Plus 1. So 12.
Okay, so yes, it basically wasn't very effective.
No, I gather I'm going on to the third, whatever it is.
Okay, so you all wake up at this point, having fed the spirits enough that you see a spectral chimera appear in the room. But unfortunately, some of you are not doing quite so well right now. As I look up the actual stats for it. Definitely way before that. Not a death knight. There we go. So that's the official picture of them. So just so. Okay, so
Scary.
at this point in time, the tribesman has his constitution lowered by 5 points.
Ouch. That's impolite.
I know. And then we move on to Luell. His constitution is lowered by 7 points.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Hey,
5 is not so
crap.
impolite.
Yeah.
And Lani's constitution is lowered by 2 points. And Duke's is lowered by 7.
Yep.
Which means that...
Am I dead, technically?
No, that means that...
No, it only goes to dead when it goes to 0.
It basically drops your hit points by a huge amount.
Down to 50? It says I got 57.
Drops your hit points from 59 by 24 points.
Yeah.
Why does it go down 24?
Because you reduced from a +2 to a -1. So you,
Okay.
you lost 8 levels worth of hit points 3 times.
I don't understand why that happened that way, but I don't need to.
But the important thing is your constitution was more than 7 at the time, so that's important right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason that works is con affects your hit point number. And if you
No,
reduce-
I'll get Martin to explain it to me when we're
Okay.
not in game, because I will pain brain him and then he'll dumb it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's basically all I was going to say.
Yeah.
Con affects your hit point number. That's why reducing con affects your total hit points.
Okay, so you are facing what appears to be a spectral chimera, and it, while see-through, looks like it is quite angry with you. I will give you initiative.
Crap. I got a 4.
I rolled 8.
I'm on 12.
Let me see.
16. Sorry, 15.
Sorry, just trying to actually put it somewhere where I can read it, because for some reason it decided to make it all unreadable. Okay, so
How nice of it.
Microsoft always helps. So Lani got 12.
Lonnie got 8.
8.
Yeah.
No Name got Tribesman.
12?
So I knew someone did, so I just couldn't actually say his name. And what did Luell get?
15.
15. So apparently we go in reverse order.
Yes.
So, Luell, what would you like to do? You actually feel yourself, but a little less. You feel a bit of yourself in the creature before you.
Okay. Is it setting up to attack us, or is it just sort of being menacing?
It looks like it's about to attack you, but it's breathing in.
It's breathing. Oh god, it's
Meaning
making me breathe on.
most likely going to do a psychic attack.
Okay.
So the head is black, is it?
Well, it is. It does look black in this light.
Okay.
You are using a green light, and most green looks black.
All good?
Yeah.
I feel like he tricked me.
We did.
So they tricked you.
Sort of.
Well, no, actually, what would really happen in the green light is the green head disappears. You've eliminated one of the heads.
Does that work? Is it no longer working, that head, now that we can't see it?
Well, you won't know.
Oh, dear.
That's right. What we can't see can't hurt us.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. On the other hand, that may be the one that's just, it's done its thing, which means it has no real presence here in the psychic ether. Yeah, gold. Where it is. Yeah. Best thing I can do at this point, well actually no, what I'm going to do is try and talk it out of flaminess. Tell it and try and persuade it that we're actually here as friends and someone it can talk to.
You have a feeling that it's made up of you.
Which is one of the reasons I want to do this, because that strikes me as, well, we're already halfway there if that's partly us.
Well,
I'm very
also,
chatty.
It also yes, it also implies to me that if we beat these things up, we may actually lose part of ourselves for a time.
Yeah, I have the same thing. Like, if they're absorbing us, I think if we beat the shit out of it, we might be hitting ourselves.
I will give you an insight
Or
roll
we might be
considering.
ourselves.
Okay.
I'll give you an
Yeah,
insight
I'll
roll
give you
based
insight.
on where you come from.
Ooh, natural 20, total 26.
Okay. With the natural 20, I'll give you a little more than I was going to tell you. So, what you perceive with it is this is basically a trap, and it's designed to turn you against yourself at the point that if you do not destroy this creature, you do not get back what it's taken.
As I said, you get to recover yourself.
Hold on. So it's a trap where we have to destroy this thing to get anything.
Yes.
Right. I will inform the others of exactly this, and then I'm going to, while I'm Eldritch blasting it in the face.
Okay.
Nice. So it's 25 for my first shot.
That hits.
Yep. So I'll do the. Actually, I should just roll a d10 and do the damage as I go. 13 points of damage for that one. And it's force damage, just in case that makes a difference. That may actually miss. That's only 11 to hit.
An 11 flies past.
Yep. Damn, because that was a 9 on the damage roll. Alright, and 22.
22 also hits.
Cool. 12 points of damage. Oh, and 10-foot knockback with each of these successful strikes.
Okay.
Although, sorry, it's, the 10-foot knockback is only 10 foot for a normal sized creature. Oh no, sorry, no exception. Will actually be knocked back.
Okay. Then it is the tribesman's go.
So this thing definitely appears to be in spirit form.
It does seem to be a spiritual form.
Okay, I will activate my spiritologist aura.
Yep.
Or at least attempt to, because it needs a check, does it?
It does need a check.
Yeah. Because it'll act as a protective measure and good if it works. 16 on the dice,
That will work.
I think that should be fine. And then I basically aim to move off to the side, so that therefore we're not bunched together in case we get a big dragon breath going.
Okay.
What?
You move off to the side with your own version of the green glow around you.
Yeah. Because I think they can't get myself anyway, isn't it?
It gives you a aura about 5 feet around you as well.
Okay.
So-
If I'm near the gnome, I'll aim to drag him along with me.
Okay.
Or keep him close.
You drag the gnome with you. Okay.
Just on the idea that it puts a bit of a separation, but also there's protection for the gnome, who appear to be the most badly damaged from the greens.
And then it is Lani's go.
I suppose I will pull out my Sunblade
Mm-hmm.
and I will try to attack with that. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, you can move up and attack it.
Yep. Hold on. It'll be a 16 to attack.
The 16 hits quite well.
Okay. I have to look up. I don't remember what dice it is for damage. Is it a D6 or is it a D8?
The Sunblade, I would thought, was at least a D8.
Yeah.
It should be equivalent to at least a longsword.
Yeah. They're all longswords from memory.
And then I would be,
I believe you're at least an expert.
yeah, I'm at least an expert at it.
So it's 3d8 normally, but I believe the Sunblade also gives bonuses. So I will quickly look up the Sunblade bonuses.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
roll.
Yes, that was my thought.
Yeah. I like the option.
Almost open to the right page, and then I managed to jump it all the way back.
Yeah, I was planning on having this printed off beforehand, but I just forgot.
Oh, hey, we've all been busy with stuff, so looking up stuff is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you had chosen to attune to it, it does 6d8 damage.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
told you at least a D8.
It was at least a D8. Okay, so 68. Let's see. So that's.
So basically, you get the dice from the proficiency, which is 3d8. You get plus 2 dice from the Sunblade itself, and because it is spiritual, you get an extra d8.
Nice.
Okay, so that is 25 damage total.
Off the first hit, yep.
Nice.
Yep. And then I have a second hit. So
You do.
Second hit would be a 19.
Which is a hit.
So that would be. Math's hard.
It can be later tonight.
23, 28, 32. So another 32 damage. So altogether 25 plus 32.
Yep, and you can take an action surge and have 2 more attacks if you wish to.
You know what? Why not? Let's do it. So yeah, we'll do another attack. This one is a 13.
A 13 is a hit.
Okay. 12. 16, 19 on that one, and then second action surge hit, 16. That'll be 13, 14, 15, 23. So another 23. So 25 plus 32 2 plus 19 plus 23.
It's quite a lot of damage. Some
Yep.
ladies very, very worthwhile at this point. And now Duke's
Yes.
go. Duke can, as a bonus action, create a bomb that will do 3d12 damage
Which
to it.
precisely was what I was going to say. I throw a bomb.
Mm-hmm. You go
I'm glad that at very least I'm standing right next to you, so I'm probably not going to be in effect.
So you get to make a attack roll. Because of your specialty, you get to use your intelligence, so you get to add 8 to the dice roll.
11 plus 8 is 19.
That's a definite hit, and then you roll a d12 5 times. Oh, sorry, 3 times.
Is that a d12 or a d8?
Is it?
I think that's a d.
D12 is the almost ball-shaped one, but it's not quite a D20.
Yeah, that one? No. Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
one.
5. How many times did you say I rolled?
3
it?
times.
8. 6.
Okay.
So look at 5, 8, and a 6, so look at 19.
19 was just a little bit over what you needed as the spiritual creature explodes.
Nice. Good shot.
I was actually just going to do a quick calculation in my head thinking, how many constitution points people lose? I think that total was about the 20 odd. Times 2 hit points per each one is 40, times 8 hit point, 8 levels would make it about 160 or something. So.
Wow. I don't think that would be a good outcome.
Yeah,
So we'll give you a...
approximate 120.
So a nice little bonus thrown in by people as you actually finish the session with the Chimera being defeated and you getting your hit points back.
Oh, good. So they come back with the death, which is nice.
Yes.
That's part of the Elven trap is if you don't succeed, it can fly off with your hit points.
And do we find the key somewhere lying around?
That I think we will cover next session.
Okay.
He was wearing it as a necklace.
Because there is still more involved.
The spectral Chimera was wearing a physical necklace.
Maybe not
Yeah,
a
there you
physical
go.
necklace, but it's got a physical key on it. Maybe. Depends what we find when we actually search the area.
Yep.
It's magic.
Everything's magic here. Except the humans, they're just boring.
That might be the part of the fact that it's still coming up is the fact that it didn't actually drop the key because the key is still also in spectral form and we're trying to make it physical somehow.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be annoying.
Stop giving him ideas! Because you know he'll take that and run with it.
Yeah. Don't feed the GM. He's got quite enough in his head.
I'm sure the spiritologist tribesman can deal with a spectral medallion.
I'm sure you can. Unless, of course, you repel it because you repel everything that's spiritual.
Maybe. that's only if the medallion is good or evil. Whereas it's just a medallion, therefore it's completely neutral and not affected by the aura.
Yes, except most of the good and evil deal with undead as a thing, not good and evil.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say good night to everyone. Thank you very much for playing in the first game back this year.
Of course, it was lovely hearing everybody at least, so nice to get back into games.
And as I say, Happy New Year to everyone, and I hope it's all going well.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow night or next week or the week after.
Yep.
We will.
Alrighty, you guys have a good rest of your night. Good night.
You too. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Right.